Morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good afternoon. If you continued to trade that range rotation yesterday, if you are a range trader, well, the last couple of days, definitely yesterday was your market. That was your time to shine with 200 points rotations happening many, many times over. Okay, we're going to start as always in the daily chart. So let's just zoom into here. The first thing I want to point out is we are developing quite a thick profile in here, and it's not really surprising, is it? Because we were here in September, we were here in October, we were here in November, and we're here in December. All right, so we've spent now a good portion of 4 months in this range, and you can see the edges are starting to develop and build out. All right, so we know we're in a thick profile, which means in here we will normally rotate. All right, when we leave the profile, we can be drastic, but right now, probably going to be a bit like what we saw over here until we prove otherwise. If we zoom into what we've had this current week, all right, we're into Friday. We have to think about this current week. Here is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Wednesday is the bar right now, which is kind of setting the tone for the week. So Thursday, like we talked about yesterday, was highly likely to be inside of Wednesday. We currently have Friday inside of Thursday and inside of Wednesday. All right, so this is the rotation. You can see every time we've poked up into here, we found sellers. All right, we found sellers here on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Has this supply been chewed through enough, or is it time for a bit of a bigger push? Time will tell. We're going to talk about these bowls. All right, they're starting to come into compression. So the longer we sit here, the more these bowls are going to start joining. So you might see by next week, it's going to be a light trading week, but maybe by next week, we end up being somewhere like this. So we have compression in the Bollingers, and then they will start to open up once we break either side of it. So everything's starting to coil and tighten up in this market. Things to be aware of today. All right, it is rollover, triple witching. All right. Historically quad, but triple now, right? So you've got all contracts rolling over today. It's expiry day for your dailies, because now we have dailies, your weeklies, your monthlies, your yearlies, and also for futures, all right? There are over $7 trillion at play right now, expiring today in the options market. So don't be surprised to see some wonky moves, all right? Some pushes that fail, some dips that rip, like... It all depends where these funds need to pin price, or if they need to pin price. It is indeed, I just see someone say that, apparently the largest ever. It is indeed the largest ever options expiry. Options market's getting bigger and bigger, mainly due to the zero DTEs. And there's been a lot of hedging taking place over the last couple of weeks, definitely, if not months. All right, and it has been a bit heavier than in recent times on the put ratio. Okay, let's move into the hourly chart. And we'll go over the current week. All right, so you can see current week's profile, developing profile, nice big D shape, no acceptance below, no acceptance above. All right, this is your rotational market in the current week. The profile is telling you the current week is in a rotational market. If we look at the previous day's value, well, it's right here. All right, so the only people that are stuck right now are these shorts from Wednesday. This is why we played long off their pain point yesterday. So every pain point into here, we were long back up inside. You can see no breakout of the top side. Why? Because we're in range. Nothing's changed. All right, so those that were here yesterday, nothing's changed. We are in exactly the same situation. Literally, quite literally, absolutely nothing has changed. We might be opening up, well, we're opening up almost identical to yesterday. So what are the plays? You need to be very aware of breakouts and failed breakouts today. All right, if we're in a range and they're going to keep us in a range, failures are often how we're going to play it. It doesn't have to do that. All right, the hard thing right now is we are quite clearly in a strong downtrend. All right, you've got a series of lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. But this is where it gets tricky. If we think about this rotation, because if you zoom right out, we hit the 61, right, and we bid off it. If we think about this rotation, we're into golden zone and we're starting to hold. This is where it gets tricky. If bulls are going to do something here, all right, if they're going to try and be like, we want the end to this, right, then they need to hold this range here and try and cause a squeeze out, right? they might be better letting it come back down into here, trapping bears and reclaiming to do it. So that's one thing I'm very, very aware of. They will want the break of 4s or whatever it was yesterday. 410 was where those big plays were, right? They can get through 410, 430, 440 to 500. That's the big level, right? If they can get here, then we wait and see how they act. Are they then able to cause a squeeze up into sort of 480s, 600s? Does that, right? Is 500 or even 410 or 600 used as a big bull trap that bears come down and say, no, 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 no. Back into range you go. Very, very possible. Right, very, very, very possible. So you have to be flexible today and willing to play both sides if you're going to play. I would say size down. Whatever contract size you're thinking of using, half it, because today could get a little bit wild, especially as we get closer into the close. These are historically days that I don't trade aggressively, if at all. So breakout, fail breakout, breakout, fail breakout. All right, I'm watching those. Do I really want to play in here? What do you reckon? All right, look what happened earlier in the week. Look what happened yesterday. Do you think I want to play in this? No, not really. Not really. I don't really want to be participating in there. Overnight, we can also talk about Bank of Japan, quarter point hike up to 0.75 now. Biggest they've had in over a decade. Okay, but quite possibly, like I said, crowded trade. Everyone was calling for the big end of the market, causing the flush. It can take a while. If you go back and historically look, it can take a while for that to take effect if they're really going to start unwinding. But probably the dramatic part was priced in, which is why when the announcement came out, we actually saw relief, right, in Asia. If we come into here, what was it, 11 o'clock, I think it hit, or maybe it was here, there you go, 10 o'clock, it came early, right? We saw relief in the market where everyone was thinking, oh, we're going to die. Well, we're above the 200, we're above the 5-day, we've already priced it in, we're seeing relief and relief. All right, so that's the one thing to be aware of. And you're seeing it now, continuation to drive up. So overnight, we saw relief, but it's inside of yesterday's range, all right? Globex, Asia higher, London higher, and then it hit the big wall, came back down, found a rebid, and we're going to go up and visit it again. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4th time up here. Just be aware of that. Eventually, you wonder if there's any sellers left up there. They're going to start to exhaust themselves. All right, let's go over some of the other charts. You can have a look at ES. Relative strength over here. This looks messy. Let's move this down. Get rid of that altogether, to be quite honest. Still maintains in that downtrend, very similar. All right, strong downtrend, but the same kind of thing. Hit a big pivot, is trying to form one of these to get back up into here. That's the change in tone, 6,900. I very much doubt we get through that today. I would imagine there's monster call walls up there, but that's what they are trying to do. But same kind of thing. Have a look at the SPY. All right, you can see that put wall. We never got into it earlier in the week. We got close and everyone covered into it. What did I say yesterday evening? I did put the gamma in. Let me just have a look. Give us a second. $600 QQQ to 615 are the big expiry walls today on Qs. So 600, there you go, didn't hit it, to 615. All right, so your big expiry is up here. If we get over 615, we will go into positive gamma and put potential squeezes on. So that would be your 500 pivot basically on the NQ, right? So nice and easy in terms of numbers to think about. Let's look at the VIX, probably still dancing in range. Why does it ruin these every day? All right, still just in a range. If we just zoom out here, nothing's changing. Take this off for a second. All right, you can just see we're going pivot, 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 pivot. All right, it can't find acceptance below. It can't find acceptance above. 1750 to, let's just call it 16 or 1550. That's the rotation. That's the chop. That's why we're getting this sort of sloppy, I wouldn't know what to call it really, aggressive slop. Aggressive slop, maybe it's what we call it. Let's just have a look quickly here. Okay, still fading back in, still holding this, still haven't broken out. This is where disaster strikes in my mind. So still got price alerts. Oh, maybe I just deleted that. Still got price alerts up here. Let's put that back on. All right, let's have a look at the mag. Most of them opening up flat, I think. Yeah, so slight gap down. I'm just going to call it flat in Apple. If we zoom out, it's into this key chop. If it holds this, we've got that same kind of downtrend. Relief will be there. It doesn't have to come today. It might not come at all, but that's where the relief will come. Amazon, that looks a bit stronger than the others right now. So we've got that sort of W shape, double bottom, holding a possible high low. It's looking for relief out. That looks better. Goog, not great. Inside the range still, but it's trying. It's going to have an attempt to get into this, but you've got lots of stuck buyers up there right now. Meta, being aggressive. That's a good hold. Still inside yesterday's range, but that's a good hold. So all the time Meta's holding above 660. You look okay for relief. Microsoft, same kind of story here. You're seeing the same pattern here set up over and over and over again. All right, a lot of these are sort of feel like they might have bottomed out. Yesterday started to get a run up. As long as they can hold a base, they've got a chance to come and test the top side of these ranges. This is the equivalent of the 500 level that we're looking at in the Qs, right? So all depends if all the market wants to move up to supply and what happens when we get up there. Well, it's back inside of 75-ish, and that's where it needs to stay on NVIDIA, all right? It needs to stay inside of this to see relief and needs to get over 78. All right, over 78, let's set another alert there. Over 78. It's got a chance. We've got here 4 minutes. Over 78, it's got a chance. Tesla looks really good. Really, really, really good. All right, that one's 500. It is as simple as that. Breaking out on all time frames. Liquidity built here. If this can get going, 500 to the level. That's where it wants to go. Big, big number. Have they built that in with this now? Where have my extensions gone? There they are. Okay, 12s. All right, so it's got a chance. Oracle found a bid yesterday. I'm absolutely fuming about this. Didn't get filled. Remember, those who've been here the last week, we were looking for the gap fill into 78s, and I had some orders just sat down here for a flush to pick up. And, well, we went in after hours yesterday, so maybe we still get it. But that was really nice. Gap fill on the daily and a 10-point ripper, more than 10-point ripper, and they have to see if it holds a pullback now for a continuation or if they just get melted back down. So I've deleted my sort of wish orders that are looking to pick up long. They've gone now. Okay. Let's share this stream. I actually forgot to share it today. Oops. Probably should have done that. How long we got here? A couple of minutes, folks. Did any of you trade last night out of interest? So currently holding over previous day's value area high into this open. We've got a couple minutes left. Morning, everyone. Not going to get a chance to go through all the names, but good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. The only VRP volume I use on that setting, VP, is on a 30-minute. Everything else I'm using anchored or fixed range. Right, everything else I'm using anchored or fixed range. Thank you, John Dennis, with the $20 tip on a Friday for my coffee and bagel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Morning all. So just waiting for us to get into the open here. We are currently holding previous day's value. So, you know, if we hold a bid here, it means they will look to try and expand yesterday's value. We've got all this supply overhead that we got stuck at yesterday, and this is a current week value. So just think about that. Yes, exactly the same. We're looking at exactly the same kind of thing. Is it going to hold previous day value? Can it hold the PDC 830s and reach up into 855s and potentially 870s? That's what it's trying to do. Whether it can do it or not is a whole different thing. Right, getting a bit whippy here into the open as we reach up into this supply block above and Globex, and we just see what we get. All depends if we're going to hold above value or we're going to go back inside previous day's value. We're already inside the current week value. Splash that water in my glasses to start the open. All right, all of the mag opening up green. Amazon and Apple flicking green to red, red to green. Same with Google, but most of them opening up green. The big winner this morning, Tesla and Nvidia. They're the big gapping up, and Oracle obviously almost 5% up. So into this sort of supply block we got stuck at yesterday. We just want to see if we're going to hold bids this morning for a drive up or not. That's what the market probably wants to do if it's going to find relief. It's going to have to hold bids for drives up if it's going to find relief today. Remember 410, big level yesterday where we had that trap buy yesterday. If we start getting through that, this is value area high on the current week 30s, and then we can think about 500s. But yesterday we could not get through this block here. This was constantly being faded, so be aware of that. If we start holding prints above it, it is possible that we're going to go. All right, so next level, if we can hold prints above 410s, we're looking at 30. So watching this now into the 10s. Are we going to get an early morning squeeze up into 30s is the question. Big buying coming up here. Big seller just got stuck here. Can they hold above 16s? That's his print there. 16s is the level now. Looking for 30s. So in this, trimming some here. And if we get through 30s, we're going to look for more upside. Really nice into 30s. This is current week, so trimming some here. And if we drop below 16, I'm out. No, I'm out now. Just a little squeeze here to start the day, just on one account. Now we just wait. So we hit current value area high on the week. So the trade was just like an early squeeze up into this. We might well get stuck here and rotate all the way back down. If we find acceptance here, then we're going to think about a move out into 500s, but it's going to become very tricky to buy up here now. I was just playing the tape there, what I saw. Back into 30s, you can see how big this level is at 30s. They keep reacting here. That blue line across your screen right now is value area high on the current week. If we get through this in base, we're going to go for 500s. Unfortunately got knocked out of this, but locked in some money there. Into the 50s. Offside delta here at 50s. Getting crushed here. Let's go then. Love a dip now. Mother cluckers. Always very careful if I do trade the opening drive. Wasn't planning on doing it, but that was a bit too obvious today to not take. So I'd say those 20s are now the level. Buyers will need to hold above 20s. Down here, just based on footprint, right? Just based on who got stuck there. You might not see it in here. Might have to go to a 1 minute. All right, just these lot here, they've got stuck, and this guy here. So we're getting stuck above 50s. Buyers will need to hold these 20s, otherwise it's going to be a problem. They're going to search for 500s if they can. At 500s, I would not be surprised to see a failed breakout, honestly. Apple's still dancing red to green. It's currently red. Amazon's gone red on the day. Microsoft's gone red on the day, just about. Big winner here, Nvidia, right up to 78. Looks like that. Wasn't that the level that we just called for a squeeze out over? Am I getting confused? Almost there. Almost there. That's the squeeze out level if it can get above and base above that on Nvidia. So that's driving the market up right now. But remember today, would not be surprised to see look above some fail. It just depends where they're going to do that. Is it over yesterday's level, which we've just done, or is it over the 500s? So back down towards these 20s, remember? 20s is where the sellers got stuck. And if we get under that, we're probably going to wash back down to the open. If they hold above that, then those sellers are going to remain stuck in this market this morning. So coming back down to test them. Buyers still stepping in there. Sellers still remaining stuck under 20s. There's a big buyer got caught earlier up here. He's come back in at 40s, reloaded. Question now is really, do we break out or is it a fail breakout? We've got sellers stuck under 20s. A huge buyer just came in at 43s. So he's going to need a breakout. Otherwise, he's going to get himself caught offside. He's going to need a breakout. Otherwise, he's going to get caught offside. He's trying. He's really trying. He's coming in aggressively again. Here we go. Big buyer got caught there at 60s. It's getting a little bit messy up here, I'll be honest, folks. It's moving very, very quick with some decent size. So your biggest buyer on the day right now is 40. He came flying in at 40. All the time we're above that, he's comfortable. If we get below that, I'm telling you, he was massive size. He came flying in 373 lot in one go. So we need to hold price above him for more upside. Otherwise, down. All right. If we start getting underneath his entry point, we're going to see weakness. Seller just tried to come in here to force us back under his points. So we're going to come and test him by the looks of it. Where did I say he was? 45. 43.25 is where he actually is. It looks like it wants upside. It's just a bit frothy here. I've had a couple goes at it. Locked in some good money, but I want to be careful. So telling myself, come on, mate. Don't be buying too late in the day. We can play the pain point, but not beyond that. From Sunday open, current weeks from Sunday open. Lots of buyers just got caught there at 55s. I'm going to let this shake out for a minute. We're back down to this big buyer's entry point. He's 42s, and he's pulled his bid. There you go. So he's out. Back down to value area low. This is starting to look more and more messy by the minute, so not surprising with OPEX. So we're going to test his entry point at 42s again and see if this is a trap, and if not, sellers should sell through now if they can stay underneath 42s. That's their job at the moment. And if we start coming back under VWAP and previous day high, then this will be the look above and fail that we talked about. This red box should become support. So if this does not become support, all right, then this will be the look above. We talked about it this morning. This will be the look above and fail if we start seeing one of these, all right? Which is why I wanted to be very careful, trimming my profits, hoping we got all the way up to 500. We didn't. The shift in the tape started to come. It just depends if we see this. Oh, I just thought I'd just turn that. If we see this become support now or not. Can they offer this as a support range? Just move this up. Make sure it's correct. All right, so do they hold dips into these levels now? That is your question. And if not, it's the look above and fail. Remember, we're buying very high right now. If you are participating upside, if you look at the swing leg, remember 500 is the upside swing leg, 4890 is the downside swing leg. So we're buying right at the top of the swing leg. All I was doing is trying to play some momentum of their pain, and I will just wait now. Let it develop. We're only 7 minutes into the day. Plenty of time ahead, folks. How do I know there was a 373 lot buyer? Because I can literally see him on either Footprint or on Bookmap. Right, I'm watching level 2 data. I don't just trade candles. I want to know who's actually playing and where they're playing. Sellers just got caught there at 12s. All right, we're coming back up to that same little spot, 35 and 42. That's where the big buyers came in. If we start repricing through that again, they're going to take control. So sellers are back, letting this be back tested now. They need to sell it here. If they don't, we're going to see a squeeze. There is a bit of a shelf starting to be developed above. Let me get this on for you guys. We're moving pretty quick here this morning, folks. Sorry. Where's 30? There we go. So there's a bit of a shelf up here. And if we get through 54s, we're going to really rip some faces to the upside. So I'm trying to join this long now. Are you going to let me get in? We just got caught all those sellers. Previous week close, by the way, is 470. So we're getting stuck up there, waiting to see if we dip back down into sort of 40s and I can see a buyer on the tape. There's a buyer here at 50s, in front of 50s. This is the same guy that's been spoofing though, by the looks of it, so I don't trust him yet. They're going to come down to 40s. Let's see if these sellers get stuck in this little block between 43 and 35. Hands are off the mouse. I'm just waiting. Missed that little squeeze out, unfortunately. It was really good. I saw the sellers get caught maybe a nanosecond too late to play that. But that blue block held. So if any of you are buying that dip into that blue block, it held nicely. You should have partialed out into this high, and then you're looking for acceleration now. And I'd be looking for 470 and 500 if I was you, if you got any of it. So you should have partialed out already. If you bought down here, you should be partialed out. And you're looking for this little dotted line. This is your previous week close. And if you get above that, you get lucky, you get all the way into there. But you should have been paying yourself if you bought that blue block at the bottom. Refreshing up here in front of 470. They don't want it over previous week close right now. ES a little bit weak up here as well. Nvidia just got through that squeeze level and got hit straight away. So it tried and they sold it straight away. So let's see if it can base above. I had it at 78.42s. Currently trading at 78.32s, 78.20s. So they obviously tapped into it and found those sellers. So it might be look above and fail on Nvidia there. All right, this is your point down here. 42s to 35s needs to be soaked by buyers. And if it's not, rotation back down to that blue box. So no re-entry for me. I missed this here by a fucking nanosecond, unfortunately. Whippy. It's whippy. Currently just trading in current sessions rotation in 60 to, I don't know, 20s, 60 to 25s. It's your rotation right now. 40 points. Where's previous week value area low? All the way up here, mate. 700s. They're trying to squeeze. They want to go. These guys want to go. They just keep getting caught up here, these buyers. They're not finding acceleration through. They got to get through the 70s. Once they get through 70s, they're over previous week close. They've got a legit shot at 500, but you can see every time they're popping into 70s, they're getting hit. It's a passive seller up here, reloading. If he leaves, you've got a chance, but you can see how quickly it's moving in, moving away. It's just a passive seller set up here right now. And it keeps refreshing into 70, so you can see that white line on the chart. Once you get through that, 500 is possible for you guys who are already long. I would not be buying up here, by the way. Your dips were down here or even into VWAP. You should be selling profits into this. Be aware that today failed breakouts can happen either in front of this or above this. They can fail or they can fail. All right, so we do not get long right at the tops. And the squeeze is on here. There's through the 70s. Now you're going to get 500s. There you go. So congrats. So you guys who got it, congratulations. Make sure you're selling into this. We're into a major higher time frame pivot here, okay? Major higher time frame pivot here. Really nice. There's your 90s. Don't be a dick for 10 ticks. All right, make sure you're paying yourself. Once we get a breakout over 510 to 520, we have some imbalance above to fill up to 580s. So 510 to 520, that can be the look above and fail. If we hold above that, 580s is possible. I'm very jealous now. God damn it. There you go. There's your 5. Really nice. Congrats everyone who took that. God damn it. Missed my reload. Shouldn't complain. 4-figure day and I'm pissed off I'm not in the squeeze, but there we go. All right, please do not join this late. All right, please do not join this late. can easily be a failed breakout up here. If you get lucky, this is the next block. All right, in here we lack structure. All right, in this area here, we can slice straight through it. We lack structure, but they can also reject it fast. So just manage your runners now, and this is your target if you can get up there. Really nice. Seeing bid support trying to step on now. Look at all these guys, these buyers stepping in, trying to push price up. Much better. This is what I would have liked to have seen earlier down here. Really, really good. So yeah, W's in chat if you caught this. You should still be long. Those of you who are in it, you should still be long. Big seller just came in at 530. So I'd say you'd want price to stay above that 530 to keep him stuck. And you're looking for 580s now. So here we go into some old imbalances. First imbalance tagged, second imbalance is 70. Then, then 55. And then last one will be 80. Hopefully you can get up to 85 for you guys in the runners. Please, you should be down to like 10, 20% here. This is very squeezy. They can drop this straight back down. Look how aggressive it is up when they're done with it. If too many buyers come in at the highs, we will collapse it. So you must be paying yourself on the way up. Awesome, awesome work, folks. Awesome work. Yeah, lots of buys in this last candle. Starting to try and buy the highs, getting caught here. So just be careful. Where did I say that pain point was? I can't even remember. 29s, 529. That's where the seller's stuck right now. You've got a little shelf being built out here, 50 to 55. So you kind of want to bid above that. Otherwise, you might see a little 20-point wash coming here. You're starting to lose that little shelf at 50. I'd be very careful here. Here's 50. Can they reclaim 50? They can. They can reclaim 50. Strong buyers today on the tape. Strong buyers on the tape. All right, ES into its 20 days, so it's completed its mean reversion. Same for the SPY. Just think about that. Just be cautious about that. Where's the Qs? They've also got above the 20-day. All right, so mean reversion complete. And those lower Bollinger Bands will start to catch up the next few days on the daily. 80s your only next target I'd be looking at. 80s is your next target. We go to the hourly, you'll see what I was looking at. All right, so once we squeezed through this, we held dips over previous day value. We squeezed through current week value. We're coming up to this level up here. This is where, all right, is supply. We do not expect price to get above that. All right, and if we get back under here, this will be the look above and fail. So just be cautious. You should have trimmed a lot of your money, if not all of it at this point. Lots of sellers keep piling in here at 40s, 37s, 40s, and 30s, and they are not winning. They are not winning. So tape is still aggressive. This is all NVIDIA. Look. As soon as NVIDIA got through that squeeze level, remember the white line was at 78 we had earlier, 78.30. As soon as we got this, this is it. This is the market squeezing out because we're taking out big pivots in names probably with massive expiries today, you would imagine. Massive expiries today for OPEX. I'd love you guys to get 80s here. It'd be fantastic. You're almost there. Might as well go and do it. You are almost there. £10 is all you need. A little squeeze up. They are offering above now at 90. Is there anyone above that? Yes, there's a big level. 600, you got 200 lot. But yeah, 80s is the level if you can get up into it. And again, I'd say you don't want price below 42 to 30 is where the sellers got caught. All right. If price comes below that, I would be taking your position off. You can always get back in. Remember, folks, we can always get back in. This can potentially be RBS. All right, it's an old pivot, so I will convert that, although I don't really think it would hold up that well if we came flying down into it, but we will see. Yeah, quite right, Adam. All right, back down to where these sellers came flying in. We just talked about these sellers. This is where they keep trying to sell aggressively down here. They haven't been getting their way. They're not getting their way again. All right, again, they're not getting their way. So that 42, 38, and 29.30, that's where they keep trying, and they are not getting their way, which means currently There is someone just absorbing. But if he pulls, be careful, because we're very thin on that expansion up, right? Look at this shelf. Be careful if we leave this shelf. There is not much here. We can come straight down into this, right? The only hope bulls have got is to do a little trap and go. But if they lose this shelf, there's no structure. We will wash aggressively. So this is why I'm saying you must take profits as we move in. Only hope bulls have got is to do a little trap play under here, looking for the breakout shorts to come in, and then just use their pain to go upside. It's the same stuff I gave you this morning, right? ES just tagged into its 20-day. The only thing left upside would be sort of 885 to 890. 890? 890. 885 to 890 would be the only upside you've got left on ES. Right, building out this shelf. Move this in view. We'll do this as grey. Right, that's your volume being built out. Be careful when you leave it. Let's see. I really hope you guys get the 580s. That'd be really nice, for especially those that took the dip into here. We talked about this RBS zone, almost 200 points. I mean, you should have locked most in anyway, but really, really good. It's nice when a plan comes together. I didn't really expect them to do it out the gate, but they got aggressive quickly today out the gate. Opening range now set as well, so you are dangling at that orb. Just be aware of that. So if you lose this, we go back inside the opening range, same kind of level. So your opening range high right now is basically 50 for those of you playing the orb. Got the squeeze locked in 4K. Thank you, Alex. You are welcome. Flows and training. Love to log in and have your soothing commentary as the market does its thing. Thank you for this. Good day. Thank you, Billy. Thank you for that. 10 minutes to high impact news. What do you think? Well, the consumer sentiment, I mean, I don't know if we get much of a move on that. Existing home sales should be a poor print. Home sales have been declining in the last 3 months, and home sale value. But yes, we do have 10 minutes. I'm not going to give a prediction on news. I think today is more about the gamma levels. Do I trail my stops? It depends on what account I'm trading and whether it's a trading drawdown or end of day drawdown. I will always trail my stops once I hit 1R, 2R, 3R, etc. And I'll always take profit. Detroit Depression Index. I mean, you've seen, I don't know if you're reading the news, but like even Ford came out this week saying they're going to have to change their agenda, like dropping all their EVs, or at least a lot of them. The F-150E or whatever they were calling it is getting binned. Lots of people wasting billions of dollars investing in these EVs that they're not going to follow through with. Yeah, home sale prices have been in steep decline, especially in places like Texas and California, Los Angeles, Austin, getting hit very hard at the moment. We've had more and more people unable to make mortgage payments, more and more people unable to make car repayments, more repossessions taking place. But you know, CPI looked great yesterday, but if you looked under the hood, like I always talk about, how much information was included in CPI? About 20% of what normally would be included, because they've got no data apparently from the government shutdown. How do I read that? I read that as smoke and mirrors, absolute bullshit. They don't want a disaster coming into Christmas. They don't want a disastrous, 6 months of prints into the midterms. That's how I read that. Honestly, I think they're cooking books. They wouldn't be the first lot to do it. They've been doing it for as long as I can remember. Okay, coming in, testing the edge of this volume shelf. You can see we've got tight here. I almost don't really trust this here. I'm going to be honest, because of where it is. It is an RBS zone, but if we leave this, I would not be surprised for us to revisit that. The trap would be something like this. If they've got unfinished business, I would not be buying any more up here, right? You should be holding your positions, not buying more. Here goes ES. ES is trying to break out to the upside here. It's having an attempt. New high of day on ES. Can it hold a bid above though? Can it hold a bid above? Market's just cooled off here. Completely cooled off. Where's the VIX? Under previous day low into the 15-15s. So yes, pulling back inside its range. I got a video on how to trade order flow? I have a course on it. Just went live. Flowzonetrader.com. Use code launch. It would get you the course for $299. But if you want to just learn volume profile, there's a free like masterclass on my YouTube you can do. Okay, you're starting to get a bit sticky here in this area. If they make a decision soon and leave this area, I would be, watching into 65 and definitely down into 50s. You're starting to see a rejection here to leave the area. The only thing is this RBS zone, but it's higher time frame and it might very well not hold because we have no volume transacted there on the day. You can see how thin it is. How much of a shit show over in Europe? I don't know what your question is there. Honest question. Is it much of a shit show in Europe? I mean, I'm sure it is. I don't live in Europe. I live in Los Angeles, but Europe's a big place to say something like that. You're talking about numerous countries. I'll tell you about the UK. It's a shit show. But I don't want to talk for Italy, France, Germany, everywhere else. Like, Europe's a very big place. But the UK, yeah, not so good. Government, not so good. How much percentage of TP do you guys normally lock in? We will do it based on structure. You can see how I play. I'm not saying like anything else other than pivot points. Look at that little trap. It's a good trap there. If they don't reject here, we're going to go higher. Because shorts just came flying in there again. If they don't reject here right now, they are going to get caught underneath this break. Because the only thing I said, the only hope bulls have got is for a little trap. They are looking possible here, especially if they break 55s. That's their level that they need to base back above. They're trying. They are trying. And they got any juice here? They have. They've got to send it now. There we go. You've got to send it now. You've got to get back above 70s now. You've just held 55s. They've got to soak 55s now. No good. There's a little imbalance here at 47s. Where's that volume? Yeah, 47s is VPOC currently. The bulls have a chance here, I'm telling you. After doing this, trapping bears, bulls have a chance. But they just came flying in here. They need to hold this for that rotation. I'm interested. I am interested after seeing those bears get trapped. But it's the worst trade location of the day. Do I really want to risk anything? SPY can't get above its 20-day here. So we're stuck at mean here in the markets, right? So those of you who don't look at dailies, I would advise you look at the 20-day on a daily with daily Bollinger Bands. That will give you your expansion levels and your mean reversion levels. We are holding this profile. We need to get above 55. If bulls get us above 55s here aggressively, not just like tapping in, leave 55, they have got a shot at going 480, 485, 80s and 600s. They are trying over and over again here. There's passive seller at 65 and 70. Once they start leaving 55s aggressively, they're going to squeeze. But they have to leave. And at the moment, that reseller stepped in and now he's trying to step down to 60. They can't do it. They can't do it. They're trying. They've tried once, twice. Yeah, twice so far. Back down to VPOC we come. And if we lose grey box underside, still think this is possible down here. So we can mark this out down here. These are your levels between traps underneath. Top side is to here if they can hold. Battle in this grey box. This is not where you want to enter. You don't want to be getting involved inside a shelf. You want us to leave a shelf. They're going to have one more attempt today. I would say this is third and final attempt for them. They've got to go, and they've got to go now. ES is doing it. ES is showing strength here. ES is new high of day into 880s. Q's relative weakness. Can't get through these refresh sellers into 65 and 70s. It's a good drive from ES. Really nice. Yeah, news 10 o'clock. Quite right. News in, what, 30 seconds? 20 seconds? You will get those prints. You might see a few levels get washed either side. It would not surprise me. You can see on the hourly, if you go back to that hourly where we've got this red line into these sort of 80s, 86s. There's the wash. So they've just taken one side out straight into that red block. All right, 80s, 86s. Do we see continuation now? Are we going to go through this to 600 now? So you should have hit your TP here. Just hold on. Hold on to your runners. All right, hold on to your runners. 600 above is where they're trying to fill. There's a wall there. ES has just hit your TP as well. What did we say? 85, 86, 88. You want to be locking some into that. Really nice once we left. Shame they have to do it on the news. But if you held through that, congratulations. This is your TP. Only thing left is up here. If you're going to come and tag value, you're at 700s. But, you know, you should be pretty much done with it. Pretty much done with it. Really, like, really nice. It's a shame. It's a shame they have to do it for news for you guys. But if any of you held through that, that is well over 200-point trade with me live on stream. All you had to do was take that redip in. I did talk about it when we were up here. If they held this, it would be a redip to go. They did trap sellers down there. We can go over it. I called it live. I missed my entry down there, so I had to join later. But the sellers down there. All right, in this redip in, this is what you're always looking for. An RBS zone where aggressive sellers come in. All right, these are market sellers, and you're seeing absorption and old buyers hold price up, and aggressive sellers try again, and then we go straight upside. And since then, they've been caught, and you can see they've tried the whole time up here. And their pain point, if you right in the middle of this, right, all these sellers, think about all these guys trying to get the rollover, and they come aggressively on this snap. They're looking for that volume to be exchanged lower. That was the bear trap we talked about, and now they are absolutely, pardon my French, fucked. They are fucked. They are saying, merde. Zut alors, I am in so much pain, right? But you hit 600, so should be enjoying it. Nice, guys, really nice. Look at all these people on stream. 655 of you. Thank you for joining, folks. Smash that like and subscribe button. We will be doing some giveaways. We've tapped our supply block. All right, this was our expectation for probably the top play today. If they want to be really, really, really aggressive, you could look for 650s, which would be, I'll show you why, but I would doubt it. But you just never know. All right, if you wanted to be really aggressive, up here, all right, this pivot. All right, so what have we seen here? Big, strong downtrend. All right, liquidity build, pull, push back up. Yesterday we talked about the build of an inside day, and then at some point we will make a decision which way we are leaving that. All right, if you're going back and watch yesterday's video, this is what we talked about. Well, we're quite obviously using yesterday's inside day for expansion. We're using these stops here for expansion, but we understand this is fresh supply. We're not going to get long in fresh supply. The only way we could now get long up here would need to be higher. It sounds weird, but it would need to be above previous week value and a hold of 700. Otherwise, I'm not interested in longs anywhere near up here. Any of you who joined me yesterday should have been sort of prepared about this. What's the indicator on the side of the candle? I assume you're talking about this. This is a footprint chart, right? This is order flow. This is footprint. Showing you what's going on inside of the candle. So you're seeing some sellers step back in. You've got this volume shelf here. If you leave, all right, if sellers take control of this now, this here will happen because you're very thin. Buyers potentially got the move they wanted. So The sell can happen. It can still happen if they come under, reject, and start washing back down to here. That can still happen. But the overall trend is up. Buyers will want to defend this. All right, if they fail to defend this, remember they've hit a big target. Buyers will want to defend this. If they fail to defend it, this to the next volume level is possible. All right, this can be a trap level, so I'd pay attention to it. But if you are desperate for the short, you need to be looking for that and nothing before it. I will stream Monday, Tuesday next week. After that, it will be on pause. I will try and do like the odd session in between. I'll let you guys know. I'll have to have a look at the schedule. I might go away for a bit. So footprint, you mean footstep? Footprint versus Bookmap. Each their own. I use both. You can whatever you find easier to read, I would say, is the best thing. The good thing about Bookmap is you see the orders above and below price. You won't see that on footprint. Okay, so back into this grey shelf. Really nice. So I can't remember who asked me about those targets from ES, but you hit them as well. The only thing that you've left is that 80.75, but the block, like we talked about, was 85 to 88. What do I think of the DOM? I use the DOM. You can see it top right of the screen. It's vital for reading price. This grey box top right or right above me here. I think that's it. That's the DOM. Are the TradingView order flow tools worthy? Yeah, they're good. They're actually really good. I'm really impressed with them. So grey box, this volume shelf, buyers are trying to defend this. You don't want to be short early, all right? You will need to leave this shelf, come under, reject this shelf, leave buyers stuck to trade downside. Otherwise, you cannot be thinking about downside move. Look at the top right of your screen. Lower time frame conditions, higher time frame conditions currently bullish. Flow zones are supporting price, all right? We have had a really nice upside move here this morning. I was actually long out the gate, which is very rare for me, but I saw the buyer stepping in. Sold some here, missed this reload, had to join a bit later, and then missed a ton of this, unfortunately. But there we go. Still locking in some nice profits. If we leave this, then I think we might come down to there. I'd be watching the midpoint 500 and VWAP, and I'd be watching this down here. If you're wondering what that blue box is, it is a pivot. I can get it accurate from Thursday. All right, so Thursday's this one here's. Oh, no, it's not. It is from, that is a complete lie. It would be a pivot from Wednesday, the 17th of December. Right, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to it, but I've got it marked out because it is higher time frame. We can maybe just pull this down a bit, something like that. Okay, starting to test the underside of this grey box. You need to leave this grey box, back test it to stay heavy. But sellers keep coming in down here. I'll tell you now, from 46 to 37, they keep trying to get an aggressive move away from here, and they're not finding it, which is why I would not take a breakout short personally. I would need it to retest it. They're trying, they're getting very aggressive here. You need to see this stay heavy on a retest. If they reclaim it, there's no short to be had. If they go straight back inside there, you just can't short it. It just means they're going to get trapped all over again. So back in to test it, and it looks like they're going to find a bid. Here's point of control. If they trade through this, they go straight back upside. So no rejection like we talked about. They're still just trading in and around here. What platform of this? TradingView surely doesn't have heat map. This above me, Bookmap. Trend Friend Pro, still there? Why? Has it gone missing? It's still here. Shouldn't be a problem with that. Spider's still just stuck around these 20 days. There's a lot of questions here, guys. I would advise just go through my stuff on YouTube, right? My trading view setup is really simple. It's my Flow Zone Pro and VWAP. That's it. And some volume. You can get Flow Zone Pro on my website. You will need to do the course really to truly understand it, how it works. You get a version of it for free with the course. But yeah, most questions you have are probably there are probably videos for free on my YouTube all about it. Yeah, no worries. No. You don't need to say sorry, guys. No reason to say sorry. All questions valid, but most if you're going to ask out like my setup or how I trade or what I do, anything like that, everything will either be on my website or on my YouTube channel. Yeah, not sure what happened there. Sorry, mate. But yeah, I will never delete indicators. So if they ever get pulled, it'll be TradingView. But I pay for the Pro so that they can't really do that. Okay, in this shelf again, we're just battling here. They're waiting to build volume. This is like a lower time frame example of what we did yesterday. Once we leave volume, we can be aggressive with it one way or another. Was 680 a put wall on SPY? It definitely was a call wall on the way on the. It definitely was a put wall on the way down. And it feels like it might be a call wall now because we keep banging into it and rejecting. We'll see. Big buyer just came on a tape here. 200 lot at 550. Trying to support a bid. Let's see if he's real. Why would you bid the VPOC like that? He's legit. He's legit. Weird. He's refreshed as well. Weird, man. Weird. Why would you bid like that up there? Very odd. Look at that exchange there, if anyone's watching. Huge exchange there now. All right, so they sold through him, 236 lot. Why was he bidding such big size at 550s? A weird place to do that. Am I calling the shelf point of control the highest volume of the day? Well, it is. It's both those things. It's a shelf. The grey box is the shelf. Point of control is the red line. We're starting to leave this shelf, but this is where sellers keep coming in and keep getting stuck. Right? Every time we've come down here, there's been a passive buyer. Is he? Where's that 550 lot? 546. So 546 to 550. Sellers need to defend that because they've just come flying in there to fill that weird buyer. And you've got offside delta there. So what on onside at the moment. So what did I just say? 546 to 550s. They're trying to sell through now because they've had to just take out that buyer. So the question is, do we leave this shelf now? Do we come VWAP? Do we leave VWAP and go 460s? Or do they come straight back inside that shelf? Starting to see more aggression here from sellers, but someone is still passively bidding this down here. If he moves, it snaps, but he's not moving. What did I say? 46. I keep forgetting what I'm saying this morning. 46.75 and 51. 50.51. Those are the levels. Brain's not fully in gear yet, clearly. So this is the tap back in. Sellers need to sell this for a move lower. Otherwise, we go reclaim and we go higher. It doesn't. So the shelves don't need to be the highest range of volume. They are literally shelves. This one happens to be the highest volume node. They are high volume nodes, but they don't need to be the highest, right? This one happens to be the highest. That's your point of control. But shelves are just things like this, where you have a clear edge, like here. If this was a bit more built out, it'd be really good. Like clear edges, and in here, no volume, right? So in low volume, they can act as support areas where we trap, like we did here. But if they can't trap, then there's no structure here to support. Then you imagine we slice down to the next level. This is why sellers, if they defend this and they get a break, they're going to look for higher time frame RBS and then this. If they can't and they go back inside, then they're going to keep getting trapped underneath the shelf. Thank you, sweetheart. Sellers are weak, yeah. I mean, they keep trying. They're trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. You can see them on the delta. They need a break. They need it to break lower now. They are trying to reject this grey box, but they need to break lower, and they are struggling to break lower right now. But if they break lower, it could get a little bit violent. They're just trying in this candle again without getting any leeway. So I'd say it's basically all sell side from 50 under. So if it's all heavy delta from 50 under and we're not going anywhere, what does that tell you? All right, if it's all sell side delta from 50 and under and we're not breaking away, it means there's someone absorbing the tape here. So sellers will need this breakdown. They've come flying in here, so they're trying now. Here we go. There's their breakdown. All right, so let's see if they can maintain it. All right, can they get into this blue box and grey box, or are they going to get just instantly absorbed? This is what happened earlier. So from 50, let's mark it out, and I'm going to show you. From here is all aggressive selling and no real buying. Well, there is buying, but it's passive. Right? You see this, what did I say? Something from 50, this. This is all people market ordering sells. Have we moved lower? No, not yet. All right, so there is a passive buyer absorbing here, looking for a rotation higher right now. That's the battle. Passive buying, aggressive selling. Back into grey box. So sellers will have another chance to defend this level. And point of control now is 55, and it's starting to be reclaimed here. If the market would clear the imbalance, would it drop to point of control 25,330? You mean the old point of control? No. The point of control right now is at the highs. This is your POC. So the rotations right now could be this, and I'd expect them to try and hold a bid there and then rotate in this zone to fill this in. If they lost this, back down to value. If they reprint over this, then they're going to look for 600 and probably weeklies up into sevens, right? Those are the rotations. Here is where they're building liquidity. I don't trade in here, okay, as a rule. If you hear me say, I don't like trading rotations, right? This is a micro rotation in here. This is a build out of volume. What I like to trade is if we leave, test, stay heavy. If we leave, test, stay positive. I don't care which way. This is probably the harder trade today, only because if we think about what we've done, we've already done this. All right, so yes, momentum's up, but what are we buying now? If this is value, all right, we're buying, okay, fair value on the day is currently high, but we're buying premium within current day, and we're buying premium above previous week, or current week, I should say. So we don't want to buy this high, really, but it might not give us a choice. Right now, sellers keep rejecting up here over and over again. So buyers got caught on that last wick push in. Sellers still have not taken control. What's the ES doing? Still in no man's land, hanging around its 20-day. So if you look at the SPY, it is literally just stuck at its 20-day. Why is that important? Well, when we look at the dailies, this is just how I trade, and many of you would never have traded this way probably. This is your mean on the daily. There's your top bowl, there's your lower bowl. This is your max move, max move. The other thing we have to respect here is what we talked about, higher time frame. Where are we into? 20-day, 50-day, edge of shelf, all right? Edge of shelf. So it's going to struggle to move much above this. It's very unlikely that we're going to get into this next block here. So they're going to keep trying to sell this. And this is why we have to think about, where are we positioned? Do we really want to be buying up here? Not really. So if you are going to buy up here, what are you going to need to see? You're going to need to see trapped sellers, a reclaim of a shelf, more trapped sellers, and you're going to have to play momentum long. This would be a smaller size position because you've lost the location, but you have the momentum. Sellers now starting to come in. All right, let me get back in and focus in on this. Otherwise, I'm going to miss any potential setups now while I'm teaching. So you can see this is a little shelf here that it developed. If they start snapping this, VWAP is available. ES still at its 20-day. Still at its 20-day. Still sellers selling these lows here. Where did that big lot come in? I can't think. My brain is not working today. Where's this big lot? 55s. Okay. 55, 47s and 55s. God, come on, brain, wake up. Maybe I just need to get this coffee in me first. Wakey, wakey. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's a bit both sides right now. It's just a battle. It is just a battle. If you look at Bookmap, you can see it. Like, both sides just keep getting pinned. They're trying to be aggressive on the sell again. ES coming back down to 20-day again. 30 is the level right now. They've sold that numerous times without success of getting through. Under that, it gets thin. It gets much thinner under 30. And they're stacked 20 underneath, and 10s and the 500. So the buyers are like, we're going to have everything you want. You sell it if you want. We're going to keep gobbling up. That's what they're saying at the moment. $700 of you in here. What is going on? It's amazing. If you're new here, smash that like and subscribe button. Here Monday to Friday, 9:15 Eastern time, we do pre-market show and then trade all the way into lunch. We will do some giveaways today. If you're new as well, worth checking out the community page on YouTube. I am giving away a free Funded Next account. By next Tuesday, we will announce the winner. I don't pick the winner. Funded Next pick the winner. Completely free to enter. All right, they're trying again at these 30s. They're being aggressive at 30s again. They're still being absorbed down here. Surprised they haven't flushed 20s, to be honest, looking at this at the moment. That big guy just sat there looking to get flushed into by the looks of it, if you ask me. 30s is the level. 30s, 30s, 30s. They're trying. They're looking for that flush. Here comes the break. There's the 20s. Okay, now can they go 05s? Here we go. Okay, thank goodness they're actually starting to play ball properly. All right, so probably into 05s and 500s, into this RBS level and VWAP. And if you lose VWAP, we're going to come all the way down. This is a higher time frame RBS level, which dates back to Wednesday, the 17th of December. So they are bidding off it. Interesting. Wasn't sure if they'd bid off that, if I'm honest, because we're very thin. So sellers have a chance here to react here. The rotation here is clear. All right, they must sell up here, close under here, get down into here. Buyers will want to absorb this, use all these sellers' pain, and get back above. That's the rotation. We are in a rotational market. All right. I know we've broken out of that December 17th pivot, but that's this right here that they need to hold. And if we don't hold it, it will be a look above and fail. And if we do look above and fail, we think about how vertical we've been. If we leave buyers trapped up here and we don't hold the pivot, all right, then we can use all this volume to rotate aggressively. So it is definitely a bit of a battle day today over time frames. And it's OPEX, just to make it extra fun. Okay, so sellers took control, 330s, 530s. That's where they really took control. So I'd say the levels right now, 530s, 538, 547. That's where the sellers took control. They will need to defend those levels. If they don't defend those levels, they will start to be squeezed out. Right, they will start to be squeezed out if they can't defend those levels. ES currently holding above PDH. SPY looking like just stuck between the 20-day and VWAP right now. VIX is trying to catch a bit of a bid. You can see 500 being bid down here. Do they wash into him? Do they wash into him? I would be very careful about bidding this down here if I was you. only because we lack volume. If we'd built out structure here this morning, if we'd done something like this, I think it would be a really good bid back up, but I think it's a little risky. This is the New York VWAP. All right, so 24-hour VWAP's down here. New York VWAP is here. New York VWAP, you can just do an anchored VWAP. Anchor it to your 930 open. All right, I'm interested in cash players. You go and watch my videos on cash gaps or anything like that. Always interested in cash players. 505, 500 on the book. Both of those on the book. ES relative strength holding up above PDH right now. If they lose this, you will go all the way down into this grey box, right? If they don't defend this, remember we're very thin, you will come all the way back down into here. So buyers, this is sort of last chance for them if they want to go back for the highs. If they lose this, you're going to come all the way down into the box. So if any of you took the short for these rejections, right, that's your cover 1, and this is your cover 2 down into here. Anything beyond that is a bonus. I wouldn't be looking for much beyond that, if I'm honest. And then we can build out a rotation here for a bit. If they do lose this, they might want to build it out before we make a decision on what next. Like I said, very thin here. $99s here. There we go. They're starting to let it go. So you might come all the way down here, folks. So those of you in shorts, I don't know if you're in this BU. I feel like this is the type of trade you like now, the leaving of shelves. But this would be your next cover point. So I'll be out 50+% and see if you can get a drive into anywhere from 60 to 55. Beyond that is fantastic and an absolute godsend. Shorts from 538, trim some, very nice. Yeah, so once we left, really good. Right, so we talked about it for ages, didn't we? Leaving this, trim some into here, hold some into here, and I'd hold like 10% beyond that. So I'd be like 50% out here, maybe another 30 to 40% out here, and then 10% just in case they get really nasty. Because if we lose this, it is technically, I just want to make sure I'm in the right levels. This can be a look above and fail. The next level will be 400. So this is the big one. If you lose this, we go back into range. But here you can see, so we're repricing now, like we talked about, into the next shelf, right? So I'd be covering some into here. Really good. Really, really, really good. So you can see thin up, thin down. This is why we come and reprice. So if you're going to hold runners, what you really want is to get under this blue box. If you get under that blue box, this whole thing will be a failed breakout. Right, if you get under this blue box, this whole thing will be a failed breakout. If we hold this blue box, it's just a breakout retest. Okay. Going to get rid of this because, like I said, I've made it darker because I wasn't convinced it would hold, and it hasn't. Okay, into grey box. So this is your cover point for some of the shorts. You want to be covering some of your short position here, please. Hopefully it makes sense. Yeah, I'll be covering some of my short now, definitely in and around this area, and then holding. If you've got enough size, you can hold runners. I'll definitely be covering some of my short here because we know this is the edge of value down here into 50s, right? So it's highly likely that you see some bid come back in here. Now, if we lose edge of value, like I talked about, we've got 24-hour VWAP, previous day high, Globex all down here. If we lose that, it's a whole different ball game. But you know, this is thin. We just came into like wick to wick. If you look here, wick to wick, maybe this grey box should have been here, wick to wick, and we're founding a bid. All right, so hopefully this is making sense to you. Why I'm like, you need to be 80% out into this grey box. All right, we are day traders. We're not swing traders. I mean, I am a swing trader, but on this stream, we are day trading, which means you have to respect level to level. Right, and guess what? If we reclaim this, what happens? Giant squeeze, right? So shorts need to defend this. We reclaim this, giant squeeze is on. Does this make sense for you all? Hopefully this makes sense for everyone, right? We left shelf, we repriced, we went to edge, we found a bid, right? And we might well rotate between this. Like I must have said that about 1 minute ago. We can easily do this for a little bit now. until they make a decision. If they get very squeezy, they're going to do this. I will remind you, some of you might be new, we are in OPEX, right? Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly expirations today only happens 4 times a year with the contract rollover as well, right? Used to be quad witching, we call it trip witching now, but these are days where we get big drastic moves very quickly. If you stick with me long enough here, because lots of you will be new, you will just start to see these setups because they come at day after day after day after day after day. You will see them. So they're trying to protect. They just built out a little node here. And they reacted just above it. So shorts are trying to take control of this market at the moment. They want to complete the rotation down into 450 at the moment. That's what they want to do. Whether they can do it or not is a whole different thing, but they would like to complete the rotation down. ES is finding absorption into its VWAP. It cannot get a close under VWAP right now on the ES, so you're seeing absorption over there. What was that node there? 14s. So buyers got stuck on that last wick above 12s. Can the sellers get a new lower low and see some follow through to current value area low, or do they get caught down here is the question. They're trying. Might need a little reprice first to see if they come back in at 500. And if they don't, then we're going to go up. There you go, up, back up towards 500, and they will need to sell this now, otherwise they will get caught. ES absorbing VWAP. Back to its 20-day. If they get back above this, the next rotation is going to take place. This is a little bit messy here. Just let it poke through a bit more than they probably should have there. Yes, very, very strong. Back into its range already, so gaining strength there. So you can see this edge above, sort of around here, 30s, like we talked about before. I can move this down a little bit. Something like this. It's a little bit messy, I'll be honest. Shorts will need to defend that. We're going to get rid of this now. Shorts need to defend this area. These are the rotations. Bulls want to defend this. Shorts want to defend this. These are the rotational areas. Bulls trying to be very aggressive here right now into this shelf. Let's see if there's a passive seller. This is where they started selling before. 30s up to 50s is where sellers took control. So that's where they need to maintain control if they want the rotation back down. If they don't maintain control, they're going to get squeezed out. Do I mentor one-on-one? I don't. Honestly, I don't have the time. But we do group sessions. I don't have thousands of people in Discord, right? It's a small Discord. We do group sessions. I'm trying to do them more regularly, where I give everyone in the group, opportunity to reach out and ask questions so I can help them. And that's completely free. Right, so there's a one-time fee to do the course in Discord, and the group sessions come with it. So like I said, I'm not here to take thousands and thousands of dollars off you. I do want you guys to learn, but I genuinely don't have the time to do one-on-ones. I wish I did. Maybe one day I will, but right now I still have to trade my own book, right? So you're starting to see them try and drive back up through 30s. Can they get to 50s is what they're looking for. Do sellers reject this? If they don't reject it, we are into squeeze potential. So you can see them reselling here. 40s, 45s, 50s. Bids are at 30s and 20s right now. It is a little bit messy, like I said. Bulls doing a pretty good job here. Bears probably should have defended a bit earlier. Well, it's fairly typical on NQ. What's the one-time fee? $649. It's on the website. For $649, you get a 20-hour course. You get a version of the Flow Zone Pros. You get Discord. But like I said, you might be new. today. Make sure you like how I teach. Don't just go and spend that money if you don't like how I trade or teach. Right, go through all my free videos first on YouTube. Make sure I'm the right person for you. Sorry, I'm just trying to watch this book here while I talk. So if I'm not looking at camera, that's why. I'm just watching this seller at 640 because he keeps reloading and juggling. They're trying their best to defend this grey box. They're doing a good job so far. They should have come in earlier, I think, but we will see. This is the area where they attacked it last time. There you go. They're attacking it again now. There you go. I was thinking, are they going to join in here? Here we go. So a bit of a two-leg into shelf. Bulls now will want to defend 14. So we're going to get a tightening of range here. Bulls will want to defend sort of 14s. Back to 40. This guy reloading at 40. Does he move out of the way and do we squeeze through now? If we reprice this, I'm telling you the shorts are going to get caught. All right. If we reprice this, the shorts are going to get caught because they've had numerous attempts and they didn't complete rotation. And we're back inside grey box. So I'm watching this now to see if we hold for longs. Shorts are trying to come in here and they're getting squeezed. We're going point of control now. 55s. Buyers getting trapped right at the high of that candle. Watching for acceptance over 55s now. No acceptance over volume point VPOC on the day. So this is biggest contested area of the day. We've had market shorts and market buys come there at the same time. So big battle. I'm going to wait to see if we get over 55s and hold a bid. Because I don't want to get caught in this grey box. I'm going to wait to see if we get over 55s and hold a bid to join long. Otherwise, I'm not going to join. I know, as I said earlier, it's probably the worst location of the day, but you just feel like they got a few caught there. What are we looking on cumulative delta? How are we looking? Let me see this. Strong buying coming in, very aggressive. Okay, so this passive selling here. Waiting to see if we get above VPOC. Can we get above the VPOC? This red line, which is above, there you go, it's finally adjusted. 50, 52, 55s. We need to base above that. We need to base above that. No, not long yet. No. Who's just asked that? No. I'm waiting to see if we get above this grey box, right? I don't want to trade into it, all right? We didn't get down here for that rotation, so I'm waiting to see if we do one of these. So remember, the red line on your screen is point of control on the day. It's the most, it's fair value on the day, right? It's most contested area. I'd much rather actually be long down here, but we didn't. What I would have liked to have seen, if I'm honest, is this, right? That would have given me a cheap long to drive back up. I'm not seeing that, unfortunately. And I'm not going to get long into the shelf. I need to get above the shelf. Remember the same way we talked about leaving the shelf. This trade here, downside. We left the shelf, rejected it, got below, came into that level. We would need to get above the shelf, come back to it, offer the buy up. Right, I'm not going to trade into the level. I don't want to trade in here. I want to trade an edge of it. Because people that trade in here will get stuck. Because look at all the volume we've created. Think about all the buyers and sellers. This is the price that they agree on. That's why we're trading here so much. We need one side to be stuck. We have buyers stuck here, so we sold down. If we have sellers stuck here, we will buy up. We will use their pain. I'm not gonna become the liquidity. I'm gonna use the liquidity. So I'm either gonna think about buying here or buying here, and I will think about fading once I see enough buy side stuck. This is based on reclaiming of flow zones, but I mean, when we go sideways like this, I would ignore a lot of it. Down here is like a better buy, right? Once we go big expansion, that should trend up, right? So once we go tight like this, you got flow zone momentum cloud, New York VWAP, and deep pullback, all very tight. I would tend to ignore that a bit more and wait for these to be used to develop trends. Bro, how can we get the order free platform like Footprint? Thanks. There's a video on my YouTube. If you trade with prop firms, it's free on Tradeify and NinjaTrader. I put the video live maybe 3 weeks ago. Just go and watch it. It shows you. You will need to turn it on Tradeify. Right, you need to basically just click a button to say you accept, and then you will have free order flow tools. So VWAP, Footprint, DOM. I think Lucid you can pay a bit extra for a DOM or something. I pay with CME anyway. So, do I trust the buy and sell indicator? I do, but I like them more when we're in a trend. Like, so when we're leaving a range, I like them more. But yeah, I mean, you can use them in range for scalping, but I really like them. Like when we're a breakout long or a breakout short, they're so good. When we go into trend days, they're so good. Okay, so battling over this area, you can see the battle in this area. It's free on Top Share. I don't think it is. I don't think you get any order flow on Top Share. You might you might get some volume, but you won't get footprint or anything like that. Yeah, this is it's custom, mate. It's Flowzone Pro. You get version. I need to do a doc so that you all know. You can buy it on my website, but you get a version for free, a version of it for free if you do the course, and I teach you how to use it in the course. Hey Alex, are you trading Profit Trader Pro? I am. Have you been forced to switch to Pro Plus? I have not. Is there a fixed lifetime payout cap? There is not. Normally it's around, if you link them together, normally it's around 10, I think it's 10,000 one trade. 10,000 in 10,000 each account, one trade. I don't think they'll move you before that because they haven't moved me. Yeah, there's there's no problem with being moved live there because it works exactly the same way as the pro account, right? Keep the same money, trade the same way, daily payouts, and there's no cap, 0 cap, which is awesome. I'm still trying to find this bid on the edge of this range. I'm still going to wait here. It looks pretty good bullish, but it's a bit early. It's a bit too high risk, but definitely you see this seller on Bookmap. He just got absolutely fooked trying to sell into 20s. So they're still trying to absorb 25s. It's that same level. I'm still going to wait. It's too risky here. But buyers are passively stepping in here, trying to soak up everything. They're trying to soak the bid. VIX is making a new low of day here, interestingly. We've got slight divergence. ES has not made a new high day. SPY is just stuck at that 20-day right now. You're interested in the course, what do you need to do to start? Head over to the website, flowzonetrader.com. That's all you got to do, sign up. Alex, a good prop firm to move. I want to leave Top Step. I'd probably move to Lucid, honestly. If you trade with Top Step and you want the same kind of rules and way better service, I'd say Lucid. Code FCT over there will get you, if you're new, it might even get you 40% off. Otherwise, it would get you 35% off right now. I can tell you. What is it? They emailed me yesterday. So if you buy 5 Flex accounts or Pro accounts, you get 50% off your first 2 purchases, 40% off the others, and a free reset. So they're probably coming at about $60 right now for an account. That is a one-time fee, by the way. No activation fee, no monthly rolling fee, one-time fee. Right, payouts every 5 days, no consistency rule on the sim-funded accounts. They're really, really flipping good. Let's say my top 3 right now: Apex, because you can still have 20 accounts, and if you're patient, you'll get the biggest payouts. TPT for daily payouts, and then Lucid. Those are my top 3. And then after that, Funded next, and Tradeify. Everyone else, leave alone. Unfortunately, right now, I haven't talked about it live. I have emailed them because I want clarity. I don't want to absolutely shit on them on stream. I do have accounts with them, but funding ticks have not done themselves any favors in the last week. Let's just say that. So we're still rejecting this range. So shorts are still trying to hold versus this. They want a breakdown. They want to get into this. That's where the sellers are trying to get into. This is the rotation. We talked about it, right? This is the rotation that they might build. So I'm not going to buy this unless we come down here and I see sellers stuck, or we come up here and hold this and I see sellers stuck. I'm not going to buy it in between that range. You see flow zone starting to flatten out now. Everything's starting to flatten out, which means the setup right now is worse and worse and worse, is the best way of putting it. Yeah, FCT. FCT is the code for all the prop firms. Other than Take Profit, you can use code FlowZone. But FCT will get you 40% off. If you buy, if you're new, right? If you're new, it will get you, if you buy 5 accounts. Oh no, not even if you're new. Just for anyone. I didn't know that. My bad. So if you buy 5 accounts, which are Flex or Pro, I would say go with the Flex right now. You will get 50% off your first 2 purchases, and then 40% off the rest of them for a 25 and 50k account, and you get a free reset. Super cheap. One-time fee. No monthly rolling, no activation, no bullshit like that. So if you trade with Top Step, that's probably where you want to go. It's the closest thing to those rules, I would say. I don't trade my funded futures. I have no nothing good or nothing bad to say. And lots of my students love them. I've never traded with them, so I can't comment. I can only comment on who I've traded with. ES coming back down towards its VWAP. SPY doing the same. There's still relative strength over there. One thing I would say, this is getting very ugly, all right? This is now the level, all right? Here's your pin high. There's your pin low. This is the rotation. This is a failure to make a new high. If we fail to make a new low, we will just keep doing this. If we make a new low, this is where they're going to want to come. But it's starting to look a little bit ugly out here. It is just lower time frame players battling right now with the higher time frame players. I'm just going to wait for it to make a decision. I don't mind bidding, and I also don't mind selling if we start cracking and going back into old value. That's also okay. You can see that point of control was protected by the sellers very, very well there. You're short 539. Same entry as before. I don't know if you're the same guy as before. 539. Again, it's good short. Like, it's a good short, but I would be covering some into this, right? It's a good short. I'd be covering some into this because this is where shorts last got stuck, right? This is where, if we think about this, look where the shorts last got stuck. They came flying in. Here, 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 and here. And they just tried again there. All right, so I'd be covering some into here just in case. And if you get a new low, then you look good. But I'd always be protective of where they're stuck before, because you might find them being like, oh, get me out break even. So even if you're only covering 10% or something, I would pay myself on this into this pivot. And then if you get down into here, great. And remember, this gray box is where you want to be covering, and then this blue box. And then if we get back down into previous day value, well, good for you if you get that move. I would say that will make you a very happy person on a Friday. So ES into VWAP, SPY into VWAP. All right, like I said, I would be covering a little piece into here. You look good for a move down, but I would always respect what has happened when I look left. But if you get a snap here, the gray box is the target, and then the blue box. All right, so if you get a snap here, cover and cover. There's your value on the day. All right, so this is discount on the current day. So I'd be covering, and if you get lucky, you get this. All right, I'm just going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back, folks. All right, folks. All right, you're almost there for your TP. So remember, this is current week value area high. So if they're looking for expansion, they will want to defend this sort of blue line and grey box. All right, so just be aware of that. You had a big buyer just step in, and he stepped in again. So he's trying to move up here. What is he doing? He could have been covering, to be honest. Could have been covering. What's your long target? What do you mean? We're not in long yet, so we can discuss targets as and when it starts shaping up. Not before, because it's going to be based on structure and volume and what's available. So we just wait. Thanks, Alex, for your knowledge. Green week for me. See you next week. Awesome. Awesome work, Marlon. Yeah, repricing that whole candle from 9:45 this morning. So they're still holding this rotation. You can see like this grey box and the current week value area high, right? They're just soaking and straight back to VWAP. This is like, I don't like trading these. We talked about this, didn't we? We talked about this probably needing to be built out because this is so thin, right? This is the battle. Right, so shorts are defending this, bulls are defending this. This is your whipsaw. Let me just check where are we at on the options. So probably, I would say probably cool wall 680. That's holding up spiders. And the opening of the day was probably a bit of a put ball down at 675. So that's the rotation over there. They want to complete this rotation. We will see. Can I please measure the bullish move? You mean from the start of the day? You mean that opening range? Like this? 930 low? Yeah. You're in the 50. So grey box is in the 60s. Little node here. But you'd be losing value at that point. You'd be trading back inside current week. I will remind you, you must be looking higher time frame. Current week's value. Previous day value. Day before that's value. We've moved value up. We've moved value up. We're trying to protect this. It's a question right now. Are buyers willing to defend this, or is this going to be a look above and fail back down to this block? And is that going to hold, or is that going to be look above and fail into old value? But if we don't hold above this level right here, then we're going to go back into the current developing profile. And we could think about 330s then, potentially. Potentially, it's a bit early to say, but potentially. Right now, they're doing a good job of trying to absorb this level. This is kind of what we did yesterday. What was the level we bid off yesterday? I'm trying to remember what we kept buying. All right, there, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts they had of breaking down underneath the 95s. I think it was 220s was the level for the rip. And same kind of thing. So lower time frame sellers, I would say, are in control. Lower time frame, higher time frame, bulls have got a chance. They've got a chance. You haven't seen anyone chart the way I do. I'm blowing your mind and you like it. It's probably not because I'm particularly good. It's probably more that most people on YouTube are particularly shit, to be quite honest with you. I am nothing special. These are techniques that have been around forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It's, I've done my 10,000 hours plus. It's more that a lot of people on Discords and YouTubes are probably teaching absolute nonsense. Or not teaching at all. How do you move account group from Apex? I don't know what you mean. What's an account group? Do you mean how do you delete an account? You will need to go into your history of payments or active subscriptions and press cancel subscription there, if that's what you mean. Otherwise, I don't know what you mean. Do I have a contact at TPT by any chance? Having a payout issue, customer service is atrocious. Yeah, they are a little bit slow. I don't have a contact. I can give you an email that I use, which they always get back to me on. Give me a second, mate. I will find it. It's just Nick. Nick is support at Take Profit Trader. That's all it is. But that was raised from a ticket, and then I had a discussion with him. Normally, I raise a ticket, and it can take them up to 24 hours to get back. Chris, if are you? This isn't loaded, and by any way, are you a student? If you're a student, talk to me in Discord, and I can raise an issue with them because we have deals with them. If not, I can't do a lot other than tell you who to email. Normally, they will get back to you. It can just take a day. So a little low volume node here. We're starting to build out. This is bears are doing a pretty good job here at the moment. But the question is, can they force this breakdown into here or here? And if there's an inability to hold under, we will come back up. I'm just waiting right now because I didn't slap it bearish up here and here, so I'm waiting. I'm trying to be flexible today. We talked about it right at the beginning of the day. I talked about it in Discord. We're going to need to be flexible today. And you want to be very careful the closer and closer and closer you get to expiry today. 2 weeks? No way. I had like 2 replies yesterday. I would re-raise a ticket. I had 2 replies yesterday because I didn't have a credit put in my account, and I had to question something else as well. No, that's not a thing, Rob Drag. Take that information out of your head. They dump NQ on a Friday is not a thing. If you go and look statistically, that stat will not exist. You will find just as many days as they pump NQ on a Friday. FZT, Teresa, Flow Zone Trader, FZT. It's above. If you look above right now on the screen, or at the bottom of the screen, code FZT. No worries, Chris. What's your higher time frame, Nihal? Is it an hour or is it a day? Or is it a week or is it 15? For me, they have the chance of flipping, but they need to confirm with this pullback. We are in the pullback after the breakout, all right? If we think about this, just think about like some trend like this. Let me draw. Okay, we built liquidity. We've broken out. Are we going to hold a pullback? If we hold the pullback and bid, then yes. This can still be a look above and fail, all right? So remember, like, trends get confirmed when we hold pullbacks, all right? In here, we were in liquidity build. In here, we built it. Now we've used it. Can we hold it? If we can't hold it and we come back down into here, this is nothing more than a big old bull trap. That's why I'm trying not to be too biased today. I'm trying to be like, let it develop. Do I want to play expansion ranges beyond what's normal on an OPEX day when we've had a killer week? Previous week value area low for me is way higher. Up here it's 714 right now. They're still bidding off here, but again, we're developing a little shelf here at 88. So I'd say if they can bid and hold above 88, they've got to then get through VWAP. ES is still holding its VWAP, and maybe they come and test up here. This is what I don't like, is this developing this way. So it's not as sharp now. we've like extended that a little bit more, that slope there, unfortunately, and then we've got a little bit here, and then a little bit here, a little bit here. It's a teeny bit messy. At the moment, I'd say sellers are in control. Sellers are in control. Here they come. Let's see what they're going to do here. Are they going to be aggressive and get us down into this block? And then what are we going to do? Are bulls actually going to step up in this grey or blue box today? Or is this a look above and a fail? Yeah, give me a second, Eric, because I just want to like focus on this now, just in case we get a lot of trap participants, in case there's a mean reversion back into range setting up here as we come into this grey box. Is what. Let me just watch this for a second. So we've had a shit ton of sellers just come flying in here under previous week close. So 70 to 60 was all aggressive selling. So just trying to see here if they get follow through or if a bid comes back in again. We haven't come back down into this blue box yet. Still getting absorbed here. There's definitely a passive bid here starting to soak, but we're at value area low on the day. If they start expanding through here, this is going to be like potential mean reversion trades. This is why I just want to wait for a second before I answer you. Rebidding at 65s. So I'd say 70 is the line here. Sellers need it back below 70 right now. Bulls keep coming in here. I'm just waiting to see if they get hit down one more time and then see if this guy on tape wants to actually absorb. He keeps moving away from 65, so he might be a bit of a spoofer down there. What's this level here? Sellers tried again there and failed into 75. Definitely seeing some absorption here on the tape. I want to see one more little flush down. Doesn't need to make a new low. I just want to see a little pull down just to know that there's a buyer willing to absorb. Starting to see it. We need a pull. I need a pull down to see this buyer. I don't want to fucking get caught here, otherwise I'm going to have to play over it. You mother clucks. Very close to getting involved there. Maybe some of you took that value area low reclaim. It was nice. Okay, here we go. Pull back in and show me. Pull back in and show me, please. Come on, I've been so patient. If you just go without me, I'm going to be somewhat miffed. What's that line in the sand? 70s. 20 points higher now. Come on. You buggers. You caught those shorts and you went. You didn't give me a chance. I should have just slapped the market. Fuckers. Happens sometimes. That's twice today. Twice today I've seen them trapped and not be able to get filled. Oh, so annoying. All right, so what did I see? Same thing as always. All right, into the grey box where I was thinking about bidding, and these guys got caught. All right, they got caught. And then we just went, and I was just looking for one little tap back in somewhere down here to leave these guys trapped that I could long out of, and unfortunately we're just going straight squeeze out of it because these guys are all caught at the moment. Because I wanted that for the first move back into VWAP, so we will see. We'll see. No, you didn't distract me. You didn't. I was zoomed in and ready for it. There was no real entry. I maybe could have marketed on the reclaimer 75. It wasn't you, honestly. It's just I didn't see it. I saw what I wanted to see with the trap players, but I didn't see exactly the entry I want. Maybe they come back down and hold this. Maybe. It's very risky now, though. Oh, you fuck. Oh, thank you, you little biatch. Little biatch. Fucking waited like an hour for that. Oh, the fun of trading, eh? You draw it out, you wait for it, you see them trapped, and then gone. Oh, that's funny. All right, maybe if they get through view up, they probably come and visit up here into 26s. So if you are long, we've got a ton of imbalances to start taking out. So my next target here would be sort of 10s and 12s. And then through that 20s, these are just imbalances, and then 24s. The big selling started at 24. There's a cluster like 24 to 30, and then 38 and 46 is where they were earlier. So I'd be taking profit into these like drives higher. Right, we're in a rotational market. Surprise, surprise, we're in a rotational market. These are the edges, like we've talked about. We are likely to do this. I waited for an edge, right? Because if we're in a rotation, I've got to trade an edge back upside. You don't want to join the mid part of this range. It's way too risky now, all right? When we're trading rotation, it goes against trend, right? Trend, you like this and this and this and this, and you can join later. When you're trading rotation, you need to trade someone's pain, profit, and then if you get acceptance, fantastic. But called it absolutely perfect, but couldn't get it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Just shows, like, markets are funny things, right? I didn't want to limit order in here, right? Because I don't know if they're going to flush it. But I saw them get trapped. And the moment I saw them get trapped, look at these candles. Boom, 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 boom. We never gave me just this. It's all I wanted. All I wanted was a tiny little pullback in to see these guys get stuck and start to cover. But we just rushed. And this is your TP. All right, so now I'd be out a good chunk. All right, most of my profit would now be out of this because we can rotate back down again. This is a straight squeeze up. We can rotate back down again. If you find acceptance above, then, well, congratulations, because you are going to get the best trade of the day if you get that. If you find acceptance now, if you bought this down here on the reclaim, you find acceptance over this, you are going to get a monster trade, I promise you. But you should be paying yourself. How did I know they were trapped? Because they sold the low of day into the pivot. Remember, like, we're in a rotation, right? If we're in a rotation and we're moving value up, all right, remember previous day's values here, right? So we're moving value higher. So that means shorts in here are stuck. And the day before, value is like down here somewhere. So shorts here are stuck. Shorts here are stuck. So where do I want to buy? I want to buy at a level where I think is cheap on the day and where they might be forced to cover. And I want to buy where people who don't understand rotations are being too aggressive. So this, right, is discount on the day. That's our discount. So I want to buy in here. This is an area where I'm interested to buy. Now my signal to buy that, again, because we're in a rotation, I ignore flow zones basically in a rotation. So in this wick here, I want to see trap sellers. On this breakdown, under here, we get trap sellers. And I actually see it way better on here. Let me show you. All right. All of this was sell side. All right. All of this move under value. Look at all this delta. It's all sell delta. And here, big level. And here at 80s. So you would have heard me say 82s. All right. So all I wanted was a little pullback in. I can't draw on here, annoyingly. This is why I don't use NinjaTrader to teach. But all I wanted was a move up, a pullback, leave these guys trapped, and then I can trade the squeeze. That's all I wanted. You could argue I should have marketed in, but it's a harder, I don't know what fill I'm going to get. Or if it skips and I get an awful fill, I'm going to be fuming. Exactly, Scott. Exactly that, Scott. Raf got 40 points, 480 to 520s, 480s, really nice. So you got that, 480s to 520s, yeah, it's really good. And just hopefully, your runners go. You never know, but we're going to protect this shelf, right? But if you get going, you might be laughing. You might have the trade of the day here, guys. you might have the trade of the day here. They're getting really aggressive on the buys here. They are trying to reclaim. So they're piling in, looking to get back above this grey box now. And if we get back above that, I will consider buying. If we get back above, pull back and hold it. Knowing my luck, we get back above and we squeeze 100 points. Point of control is a red line. So this is where all the sellers were. All the sellers came in earlier today from 25 to 47. We get back above that. And definitely if we get back above 57, it is go time, right, for the market. But as long as you've paid yourself some, you're okay. I'm not actually using volumetric bars. I'm using a third-party indicator. But you can use volumetric bars, yes. Same thing. Okay. Sell-side imbalance here at 47s. They need to get above that. They need to get above 47s and they need to get above 53s. And if they get above value at 65, it is absolute fucking go time for this market. Here we go. You guys are... God damn it. How can I give you guys a banger like this and not be in it? Okay, give me something to get involved in. Oh. I would not be short here. There's nothing in here to say short. You've got a level, but you've traded into it's the third time. You're probably going to see a bit of a squeeze. I would not be shorting against this strong momentum. We're in a rotation. Yeah, location is okay for the short, but look at the momentum. Strong upside then. Might very well squeeze everyone out. ES is looking for IB high. We're going to look for the same here. Top side of this grey box, and we're probably going to squeeze it all out. Here we go, folks. Value area high on the day, 66. Initial balance right up at those highs at 600. So that would be your target if we get through value area high. So if we get through 66, I'll be taking some profit in and around here, and then you're looking for a higher day. And if you get very, 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 very lucky, you will get 700 today. Very lucky, but you're not going to assume that. So I'd be out a big chunk of my profit here, probably 60, 70%. If you took this reaction here, 60, 70%, 10% here, and then hold 10 just in case you get up there, right? I'd be out most of my money in this grey box. If you see a rejection, the problem with the short now is how we've built, right? Because we've built these nodes here. All right, so maybe you see something like this, but your cover points are going to be here and here, and we don't know if bids come flying in. Remember, it's OPEX. I'm less inclined now because we haven't come up here yet. The momentum is so strong. Like maybe they offer this. I don't like it. Like honestly, you can get caught here very easily short side, but it's up to you, man. I don't want to tell you what to do. I personally would ignore. I want to play edge to edge. Yeah, you're seeing a bit of a reaction here, sure. You could argue you're looking for the same thing as earlier, but I think bulls have taken control of this at the moment, if I'm honest. There is definitely a battle zone up here. There's no doubt about it. Like, you're absolutely adamant you need to see a reaction here and you need to be covering into this and this, but I think bulls are looking to complete that at the moment. It feels like yesterday, though. If we look at price yesterday, it took a few goes. Was it yesterday or the day before? Is it yesterday? Is this yesterday? Right, the whipsaw, right? The W, trap late buyers, dunk it, retest, back to the same level, react, back down to the same level, react, midpoint. We're sort of in this stage here, right? Maybe you get that move. It just feels a little bit iffy. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't want to put you off. If you like trading, I hate trading rotations, right? You should know that if you're joining me here. I absolutely hate it, especially as the rotations start to get tighter. Because at least this morning, all right, we had expansion from here to this red box, which has been here before this morning. Then we had moved from here to here. Then it's got tighter and tighter and tighter, right? So the range was here. Then it became this. Then it became this again. Now it might become this, right? We are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So there's less points to aim for, is, I guess, a better way of me saying it. But do not let me put your, if your trade is, if you are a range trader, if you like trading the exits of these shelves and you don't mind scalping 5, 10, 15, 20 points, do not let me put you off, right? You must trade your setup. You must trade your setup. Got to move this down. This box is slightly wrong now. That's what I mean. They're developing this over and over. How long we got left here? 45 minutes. Do some nice giveaways today. All right, Qs holding their 20 days. Spies back over the 20 days, absorbing on VWAP. ES over 20 days, absorb VWAP, absorb PDH. Still got a target above there on ES to aim for. It can still go for those 68888. Surely gamma level must be 680 on SPY. So I'd say if we get over 680, I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming we move into positive gamma. 615, I'm sure I wrote this on the Qs. Let me check. I'm sure 615 was back into positive gamma on the Qs. Why can't I remember that? Come on, Alex. I'm sure it's 600 to 615s. 600 to 615 cool wall. So if we're above 615s on Qs, which we are, technically we're in positive gamma, which means a squeeze. There is squeeze potential. There is squeeze potential above 615s. We're currently trading 616. So, and that last pivot that held on that pullback was 615. So we have squeeze potential today on the Qs. I will just say that. What's the indicator point control on NinjaTrader? It's a third party. Let me see what it's called. It's not just point control. It's called City Footprint. It's a paid indicator. Back in this rotation, the grey box, the box of death, where I do not want to participate. Right, so if you can see how I trade, I don't like participating in volume in the shelf. I want to participate at the edge. City, I think it's called City. The website would be, sorry, I'll get it up for you. Give me a second. TP. Let me just post it. It's going to be easier. That's the website there. Above 6825 on SPX, there's a positive drift. MMs to buy, ES passively as the day goes on. Yeah. Similar to Qs. Basically, Qs above 615, positive drift. Same thing. Market's gone to sleep in this grey box. Jeff Patson says, got to run here. Beautiful week. Alex, thanks for your work you put into your channel. You're welcome, Jeff. Thanks for joining. Appreciate all you new followers. This is amazing. 770 of you on stream. Fantastic. Just waiting for us to leave this grey box at the moment. If you're like, why isn't he in trade? Why isn't he doing anything? Well, I missed my entry at the lows. I'm going to be honest with you. I missed the entry at the lows, so I have to wait now. Have to wait to see if we find acceptance above this grey box. If we leave the grey box to the downside, I'm not convinced I'm going to touch it now, given that we have put in a couple of lows down here. And every time we've come down here, right, we've seen some big passive buying. And this is the 615 level on QQQ. Why can't I draw that? QQQ. So I know we're in positive gamma above that right now. I think the market is trying to drift higher. Location was great down here. This morning I bought it out the gate. I just saw too many bears ruining themselves, and I bought straight into this move here. And I sold a bit too early. I had a reload and probably sold a bit too early. And then just had to wait for this pullback, and I missed it. Missed it. Called it and missed it. Happens. It happens. I'm not going to get every trade, folks. But this is why those who are like, I want a signal when you buy and sell. The problem is, I gave you the signal here when I'm talking about it. I told you, I'm going to drift into here. I'm going to look for trap sellers. And I told you, they're trapped. They're trapped. I'm going to wait for a pullback. But you guys might not need to wait for a pullback. And if you didn't, well, you've got a move I didn't get. So this is why it's important to understand what's happening in the chart. I'm not going to get everything. Sometimes I'm going to get it wrong. Sometimes I'm not going to take trades that you guys might like to trade. So sellers keep coming in here getting caught. Who's this guy coming in at 35? These idiots. 35, 32. They keep getting caught here. Sellers keep getting caught here. That is what I am seeing at the moment. Just passed a 50k flex account with Lucid. Congratulations, my friend. I passed 2 of them yesterday as well. First time using them this week. Awesome work. Why can't I get long right now? Why would I? Let's frame this another way. Why would I want to get long right now? Where's my edge in getting long right now? I don't want to buy fair value on the day. And fair value is near premium. I want to buy discount, or I want to at least see lots of people stuck and us potentially get ready to move value up. Oh no, there we go. I don't want to buy here. In fact, I don't want to buy or sell in here at all. All right, what's happened if you've bought and sold in here? No edge for me. That's where the edge isn't. When we leave it, when we leave it, probably get edge. Bonjour, Rémi. Comment ça va? Ray. I've been trading since 1994. You are very impressive. Keep preaching patience, or you have no shot. Missing trades is okay. Exactly, man. Exactly. I learned the hard way a long time ago. Chasing trades will get you wrecked. Trading in bad locations. Key to trading, for me, is trading in good locations. And beyond that, it's time. That's why I actually think swing trading is way, way easier. If you size down swing trading, if you're trading a good location, chances are you are buying yourself enough time to get a good move as long as your stop is correct. Hardest thing in day trading is waiting for that location, and then you don't have much time to attack it, like we just saw. Didn't get the exact entry I want, went without me. Missed the prime location, don't chase, let it go. My French felt fluid. It's not that good, really. Really isn't very good. Thanks, Ray. All right, sellers are trying to get this breakdown away from this range, but every time we're coming into these 30s and 20s, they are getting themselves caught. Delta is still positive. Did we make a higher high? What's this? Pivot here. That's not good. We're making a higher high. Delta's more positive here than it was here, so there's definitely passive selling here. Just a battle. We've got to wait. We've got to wait for some form of expansion. Feels like it wants to go, but what it feels like and what it does. Yeah, exactly. Trades by SD. I agree. Just range rotation, right? We've moved value up, but we're just getting stuck at edges of levels. Look at SPY. SPY 680. It's got to be a put wall there. Once we get through that, maybe we get going. Is Trump talking, Raf? I've given up listening to him recently, honestly. Totally given up. Just over 30 minutes left, folks. We will do some giveaways. Passive selling is limit order selling, right? Limit order selling. Someone just selling, refreshing their limits, right? Just refreshing limits, not hitting the market, not slapping the bid, just refreshing the limits, just placing offers out there on the ask over and over and over again. Are they still activating funded accounts same day at Lucid? Yes. Yep. Market looks like it wants to break up here. He's trying. ES is trying. They got to get through these 680s on SPY. They're trying to get through the 680s on SPY. We're still in the grey box, but they are definitely attempting to do it. Keep banging on 680. It's not once got a 5-minute close over 680 today. Every time we've got to 680, we must be finding a put wall here. Must be finding a put wall here. 2 more minutes left in this 5-minute candle. Look how tight we're getting. Like, so inside this grey box, we've got like this developing here now as well. I don't know if you can see that. Make it a bit darker, maybe. All right. Getting really tight. Really tight. This is why someone said, why not long now? Just because this is what's happening. I want to trade the momentum. I don't want to become the liquidity. Do I trade NQ for volatility? I think ES is a little better index to trade. It's each to their own. Yeah, like the volatility is good. I've traded it quite a while now, so I understand its personality, how it operates, how it likes to go through stop runs, how sometimes it's a dirty bugger and leaves it. It's each to their own. I used to trade ES, but I've got used to NQ now, and I only like trading one really. Keeps me like knowing what the levels are for the next day, you know. It's the same reason I left small caps and large caps. I will swing those now, but I don't want to have 10 different levels in my head. It's nice knowing. Like I know 615, 600 level on QQQ. I know 500 was a level on NQ. 600 now the level today. I know above that it's 700. I know they're easy levels at the moment, but that's just what they are based on the tape. It's not that they're whole numbers. That's actually what they are. Correlation between ES and NQ. Do I ever consider one can already be outside the zone to buy, like now ES and NQ? Not yet. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching them for correlation. Look, we're starting to break 680 here on spiders now. But it's also understanding why the correlation is or isn't there. Like if we have relative strength in one, it's understanding why. Like if ES is stronger than NQ, it's because healthcare or finances are running that day, or tech is relatively weak that day, etc., etc. Here you go. So here's the break, and look at SPY above the 680. That's the key, right? Into value area high on the day here, into the edge of this grey box. Can we find acceptance over this? They are offering higher now into 75s, right? So they're trying to use it as a magnet to draw up. I'll call you later. All right, darling. So ES taking out high of day, almost completing that move into the 88, 75s we talked about this morning. Not quite taking out previous day high, previous week high. Zoom this out. Not quite taking out previous day high on spiders, that is. They have a chance to squeeze here if they can hold the bid. If they can hold the bid, they have the chance to squeeze here. Big if, but that's what they are trying to do, force a bid up. Still not left this volume here, but they are trying, they are desperately trying. Yes, took higher day, traded back inside its range. Can it find a bid here again? Can SPY rebid 680, or is that a failed look above? Back down to the 680s it's going to come. Trading 680 25s now. Does it find a bid in front of 680 for positive gamma or not? Is it a look above and a fail? We are about to find out. We cannot get above this grey box. Once we get above this grey box, you probably get a swipe higher. There will be a lot of stops up here at this point. So seller's trying to walk down now. He moved from 65 to 60 to 55. Someone's desperate to get filled here at 55. 60 lot. He's getting impatient. There's no real bid till 35 right now. He's getting very impatient. He's moved to 50 now. He's trying to walk down now. He's getting very upset. He's not getting filled. 51 is the level. That's where shorts came flying in there. So if they print back above 51, they can reprint higher here. It's getting very tight though. So reprint 55s will be the next reprint. If they, there you go, through 51s, can we go 55s? This is where they're attacking this sell side. And if we can get through this, there is a potential squeeze because they've just sold very hard into this now. So 60s, we get through 60s, we go 70s. If we get through that, we go 600s probably. ES trying to go again. So they held the 680. So they've got a chance here to squeeze out. 560, they keep refreshing. The lack of buying momentum up here into it. There's a refresh seller here at 60s. Keeps trying to come in and then walk down. Still nothing for me yet. Not outside this big grey box yet. Rebidding 50s. That seller at 60s moved to 57. We're very tight, 7-point range here. Something's going to give. They can't stay here forever. They've got too tight here. They're juggling the tape. Something nasty will happen soon. You can't stay like this forever. Someone's going to get swiped out or washed out, one side of it. There's too much volume coming in at this level. battle. Back to a little buy side imbalance. Sellers need it under 30s, honestly. They need to exit 30s, these sellers. I'm going to get some water. Oh, this does this. Be right back. Wow, still not moved. Jeez. I can't believe that's still not moved. It's like a double little node here. It's gross. Gross, 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 gross. There's too many sellers here, though, under 51s. So they sold 51s, 47s, 38s, and 29s. And if we start breaking above value area high, they're all going to be forced to cover, in my opinion. So here's the attempt at 60s. Once they break that, they should swipe 70s and go. There you go. So now the question is, can they hold a bid, right? Because that's the stop run. Can they hold a bid, right? So here's 60s. Are they going to go 70s? Can they hold a bid now? Because sellers can use aggressive buyers to passively just smack back down. So I want to see if they hold a bid or not. At the moment, you had stops getting popped there. Not actually that many, but there were stops being popped. Back down into range. Aggressive seller coming in here at 55s again. It's just still not enough, not attractive enough for me to do anything. You're seeing both sides. Oh! Someone's going to get hurt soon. Like, they could just drop this back down to 30 really quickly. And if they snap that, they get a big wash. Or if they keep absorbing this little pocket in front of 30 and 40 and get a breakout, they can go the other way. It is like I don't know what. Like, we're at the edge of value on the day. But all I would say is, in this pocket here is all sellers. And if they stay stuck, this is possible. Now, if they take control, that collapse can happen again. For sure, because this is the edge of value. This is the edge of the shelf. You can see why I don't trade in these grey boxes. Someone asked me earlier, why no long? Well, I just don't want to trade in this. You'd have to sit in this for so long. Yeah, totally. Divergence, yeah. ES made a new high day, but it actually missed its key level. It missed its key level, as did SPY, missed its key level. Look at this, make sure this is correct. Yeah. Yes, Ray. That's a really good way of putting it. Tug of war, definitely. Definitely. So if you think about point of control, right? Point of control, this is the price at which buyers and sellers agree on, because it's where most volume has been traded, and you need both sides to trade volume, right? So that's where they agree is fair value. And if we look at price around that, right? Sellers keep trying to sell under here. Buyers keep trying to buy above here. And we keep getting stuck. And that's a really good way of putting it. It's a tug of war. What we're doing right now is we have acceptance in this range. This is fair value. All right. If buyers deem this is too cheap, we will leave this range. If sellers deem this is too expensive and buyers get exhausted, we will leave this range. If they just keep agreeing on price, we will just keep doing this over and over, right? Joe, bouncing around the level we were at 10 a.m., but lower volume, bearish tilt for me. It being Friday, heading into quad witching. Yeah, I mean, totally is quad witching. I wouldn't be too bearish on it. Honestly, I wouldn't. The only thing that you've got going for you, right, is that this has been an edge and that you probably have some buyers trapped up here. But if you think about this, that is not bearish. This is a potential squeeze up, right, into this. And if we, like we talked about, where was yesterday's value? Where's today's value? Where's the days before's value? Where's the current week's value? Where are we? Above it. So we're auctioning higher. I wouldn't be bearish on this. There you go, starting to break now. Finally, they're trying to do it. Right, try and create neutrality in your head where you can. So can they find acceptance above where we go blue to grey, right? Can we get a new value area high? Can we let out those buys from earlier? How many buys were caught there earlier? Let's have a little look. Where we have, so we have a sell side imbalance here to 67s. We have another one up here into 80s, and most of the buying volume, look, was right at that high. Some idiot right at that high. All right, so we'd be watching these guys here, these guys here. So I'd be taking some profit into this 70s. If we get 80s, great, and then higher day, and then above that, we might have some room. But you just want to lock in into that push, which you might have already done while I'm talking about it. Yes, we just did. Just came right into it. What's my streaming schedule for the holidays? Let me have a look. I haven't really thought about it, but let me have a look now. We can make some agreement together as a team of what works for everyone. How can I make this? No, I want the other way. So I'm assuming we're opening 22nd, 23rd. I will take 24, 25, 26 off for sure. So I will probably trade Monday, Tuesday next week, and maybe Monday, Tuesday the following week, and maybe the Friday, but probably not. So let's do 20. Let's guarantee 22nd, 23rd, 29th, 30th, back to usual on the 5th, I think, unless I go away on vacation. Only thing that would worry me here is if bulls don't get a break. We built a fuck ton of liquidity in here now. If bulls don't get this, that can happen real quick. We're coming into lunch, honestly. You got 15 minutes left. Like, here comes the bears. The bulls are not getting that breakout. I would personally, you guys do what you want. Personally, I would leave this box alone until you exit this box one way or another. Leave the box alone until you exit it one way or another. Bears are doing their best here to step in aggressively. Heading out, great week. Love you, Alex. Appreciate your ongoing contribution. No worries, mate. Take care. Take care. All right, starting to exit now. Starting to see some bearish exits. They're going to come sweep these guys out. just going to have a look at liquidity on the book. Where are they stacking in? There's not that much, actually. Doesn't look very good. I'm still neutral bias right now. I live in Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm in LA. Right, let's do a giveaway. Bears have got a shot here. I'm not going to play it. Bears have got a shot here, though. ES is breaking down. Bears have got a shot here. They might get this wash now. They're coming for it. Right, what I'd say is they entered again at 30 to 50 is where they've just come flying in. They must keep price below those levels. You have a little shelf here, 35 to 40. That is basically where they must reject. If they fail to reject that again, then you are not going to see any further rotation. If you're going to see further rotation, you can attack potentially for VWAP, and underneath VWAP, the grey box below. If they reclaim the stuff above, I'd say you're in big trouble. Like, again, I'm not going to touch this. I'm neutral bias. I don't really want to do anything else. We've had a couple all right trades. I missed the big one I would have liked. Let's have a look at a quick read on the mag. Tesla 1.35% down. Nvidia 3.34% up. It's trying to get back inside that 180 level we talked about. Microsoft 0.25% up. Meta 0.38% up. Google 0.89% up. Amazon 0.71% up. Apple 0.41% down. Bids are trying to come in here. So they're going to try and reclaim. This is the area for bears. They got to defend this now. Otherwise, they're going to... Well, they're going to ruin their Fridays, probably. Now is their opportunity. And that's 680 on SPY. You want to see SPY reject 680. So do bears force a lower high and start aggressively washing here? This is the question. This is their opportunity to do it. It's right here, right now. You need to see an aggressive wash here and a breakdown through the 520s, 515s, 510s, 500s. Otherwise, they are going to get caught because they've just sold here at 30s again. Remember, 30s to 46s is where they've been attacking this all day. They will need to see a breakdown here. They need to exit this grey box. So if you're short, you're looking for this to wash down. There you go. There you go. Right, so you'd be looking for VWAP here, or at least this wick here, ideally. And then VWAP, and then all the way back down. The tape shifted pretty quick there. Look at that tape shift. Okay, let's see. VWAP coming up. So I'd cover some here and see if you get a wash down to grey box. But you should be out a good chunk of it here, folks, all right? If you did take that. If you get a continuation, you want to get back down into here. Right, this would be like yesterday. If they're going to do this garbage, this would be like yesterday. Right, and they'd reclaim that, your shorts are off the table. Okay, so shorts are in control. What did I say? 30 to 46, something like that. There you go. Shorts are in control from here. If you let go of this, you're going to get this. You must respect some of this volume, cover some into there. And then here and here, if you get very, very lucky. That shifted so quick then. Once they let go of that grey box. Look at this shift here. So quick. And now this is possible. Midday price action. I just think it's because it's OPEX. We're just pinning. Like, I think the big thing for me is this. All right, we know 680 is their level. And we got a new high and then a rotation, and then they can absorb here again. All right, we're just pinning until we see like the bigger level snap. 75 will be the next one. Be right the way down here. Right, where we bid off the start of the day. So we bid off put wall. Sorry, bid off call wall into... Sorry, bid off put wall into call wall, pulling back. That's all it is. It's quad witching, right? It's not a day to be like, I'm going to risk all my accounts and go crazy. Swing traded this week. Yeah. The best entry for me, if you were bullish, was here. This move here was highly probable, back upside. And the best bearish move would have been this from Monday, right? Because we left old value. And that was, you could have taken puts down. What was our level? It was the old contract was 930. So I'm trying to remember what that new contract level was. I think it was this 25,000 was 930 on the old contract. That was the exit. So you could have got basically 700 point short this week, or you could have taken calls from here. And I probably would have exited some on that first push up because you don't know if it's going to fail. So in all fairness, 400 point upside, 700 point downside, both available this week if you understood the rotations. All right, let's get out of it. What have I just done? No, Ninja Trader. No. Please don't fuck up now. There we go. Yeah, smash that like button. 800 of you watching. Let's get it up to 400 likes, please. And then we'll do a giveaway. You guys get me 400 likes. I will give you Apex accounts. There we go. Fair deal. Maybe even 500. You're capable of it. You're more than capable of it. Don't type it too early, folks, all right? Because I haven't done it yet. I've got to set it live, otherwise you guys don't get entered. So I want you guys to have a chance of winning. So don't type it yet. Don't type it yet. Just smash that like button for me. It's true, Robert. I mean, I don't disagree with you. You're 800 of you watching. We should have 800 likes. I don't disagree with you. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that like button. So you can see the reaction. So they bid back in. I'm just going to show you this by saying this is where the shorts got trapped. This is what, do you remember earlier we were talking about the range was bigger here and then it gets smaller and smaller and now it might just be here to here, right? Because this is where shorts got caught. And this is where buyers are now caught. And this is now the rotation. So it's going to get smaller and smaller as the day goes on unless we get a breakout either side. Breakout would be here or here, right? Swizzy, as soon as we do this giveaway, we will go through levels and I'll give you what I'd be looking at for the rest of the day, which wouldn't be a lot if I'm honest. I'd be very, very careful on trading in the afternoon session on OPEX. But I will give you everything. All right, let's set this up. Hang on. Hang on, guys. I've not set it up. Hang on. Guys, if you keep doing it, I have to wait for you guys to stop. Otherwise, everyone who's done it already won't be entered. And I want you guys to be entered. All right, to make sure you all enter, we're going to do course first because we'll do the FCT one after because I don't want you guys not to enter. All right, so we'll do the free introduction to trading course. So just type course once. We'll give that away first and then we'll give you Apex account afterwards. So just type course once. I'll give you guys a minute to do that. So all the way back to the grey box already, you can see the rotation. My least favorite market, some of your favorite markets, and look at our reaction at the grey box. All right, so just it's going to continue to go each side until they get what they want. It's 30 more seconds. You only need to type it once, guys. Just type it once. That's awesome, man. First time watching, made 330 on a 10K funded. Clear analysis. You're welcome, man. You're absolutely welcome. All right, I'm going to pull the winner. Don't worry, E-Rock. If they've done multiple entries, Nightbot instantly deletes them. So if anyone has typed it more than once, instantly gets deleted. I don't even need to do it. That's why I was saying just take your time. Take your time. Which VWAP indicator are you using that shows regular sessions? I keep my trading view on extended hours. So it is actually custom built by one of my students. But all you need to do is use an anchored VWAP to the 930 open. That's all you have to do. All right. The winner is, there you go, Joe Bag, who's been a regular the last, at least this week, I've seen that name a lot of times. Are you here, Joe? Joe Bag 009. 009. Waiting to hear you here, Joe. Are you here, Joe? I'll give you 30 more seconds. You need to let me know you're here. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll it. Joe Bag 009. There you are. Congratulations, mate. Congratulations. Okay, you need to send me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. I'm going to make a note of you now, and I'll sort you out with a free introduction to trading course. So Joe Bag 009. All right, so you're the winner, Joe. All you got to do is send me that email, and I will sort you out with a free introduction to trading course. Okay. Free Apex account. You know what to do. Type code FCT. That is always the best price on pretty much all the prop firms. Use code FCT. It will get you the best price. Currently 80% off with that code on Apex and $25 reset. So just type it once. Again, you only need to type it once. If you type it more than once, Nightbot will pull you out. So just type it once. We'll pull a winner. I love some of the names I see in here. So good. Heath Edger. So good. Yeah, no free funding ticks account. I've stopped working with them until I get a decent reply from them. Okay, let's pull this winner. 3, 2, 1. Omalabi 1. Omalabi 1. Are you here, Omalabi 1? Yeah, Omalabi 1. Congratulations. Free Apex account on its way to you, Omalabi. Same thing. If you just shoot me an email at FlowZoneTrader, info@flowzonetrader.com, Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, just so I know it's you. Okay, I want to see you logged into your YouTube, and I will sort you out with a free account. All right, so let's set you guys up for success this afternoon. What would I be looking for? All right, you can see your range here. All right, you can see there's your value area, there's the high. This is a P shape. All right, with P shape, this is a strong move. All right, because we've left previous day's value and we've left current week's value, and we are aggressively moving higher right now. In fact, has current week's value moved up? Yes. All right, so current week's value area high is now this blue line in line, this here in line with this. This is your bid support. All right, you want to stay thinking about a rotation between here and here. All right, if you're a rotational player, these are your rotations all the time we're inside that. This will get tighter as we develop more volume, like you're seeing here. All right, this is where shorts are stuck. This is where buyers are stuck. They can rotate this. If they find acceptance above, they can go for this move. If they find acceptance below, you're watching grey box and blue box for downside pressure. I doubt we come into yesterday's value, honestly, but I would say this is a bullish rotational day right now. All right, we are in a rotation, but we are bullish in a P shape above current week, in current value, above old value. All right, so my edge technically is bullish, but for sure they're struggling to get much more of a breakout to the upside. But that's what I'd say. I wouldn't be bullish on the breakouts. I'd be more bullish on dips when available, when it's clear, and when you see shorts stuck. All right, just like we had here. I know I missed that one. We called it, but that was the one that frustrated me today. I waited all this time for that move. So that's what I'll be looking at. Those interested, if you're new here, go through my YouTube. All right, there is so much free education on my YouTube. There's a ton of shelves on and free courses on my YouTube on how to trade. All right, if I bring this over, if you're new here, if you're like, I like how this guy trades, but I don't understand what I'm looking at on the screens, just head over to YouTube. There's a ton here. All right, all of this here, trading strategy and education. All right, there's a ton of videos in here. Go through all of that. If you like volume and market profile, watch all these ones for free first. All right, if you like that and you want to learn more, there's some courses over here. So this is a 20-hour course. This is what comes with the flow zones and with the Discord. And if you want to do the volume order flow course that just launched, okay, you can use code launch in capitals. It will get you this right now. I can show you launch in capitals. It will get you $100 off right now. That ends in January, right? Boom, $299. Right, so now's the time to do it. If you're interested in learning that stuff, there is no pressure to do it. Like I said, go through everything first on YouTube. Do not be spending money if you don't like how I teach. That's about it. I have a new video launching this weekend on my 5 prop firms I would recommend for 2026, and I'll also explain why and which one might be best for you in those prop firms. Everyone else, have a great Friday. I will pop in Discord later, but I think we've absolutely murdered this week together. We've had a big green week. It's been really, really fun. And be safe. I want to leave you with this. It's OPEX. It's rollover. It's end of year. There is $7 trillion exposed in this market into close today. I'm not joking. 7 trillion options expiring into close today. Please don't get caught the wrong side of it. All right, if you've made money this morning, be happy with it. If you're gonna sit here and trade this like into the close, know that it's likely to get wonky. It's likely to do some weird aggressive moves because they need to reposition on every single contract, including the futures contracts. So don't get caught. All right, it's just one day and one trade. We come back next week or we come back next year when the real volume will return. We'll be in the new contract with good volume, with good levels, and we can forget about all the repositioning and rebalancing. All right, so nice and chill. Just read the last few things that you guys are saying here. Is it worth getting the course if I'm only with Top Step? Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're trading with. it doesn't matter, even if you're trading your own account, swing account. No Discord with the volume course. No, guys. A lot of people have been asking about that. I've thought about it, but I just don't think it's fair, because you will need the basics, or the fundamental knowledge of how the market moves and why, and how I draw out the levels. And I want everyone in Discord to be trading the same way. I'll talk to the guys in Discord, but I don't think that is right. I think it will cause some issues. Sorry. For now, I'm going to say that. It's not about money. It's just about creating the right ethos in Discord. Discord is free if you do the 20-hour course, right? If you do the long course. Yeah, Discord lifetime access if you've done the 20-hour course, the beginner to advanced course. Exactly. Yeah, I'll be on next week. So Monday, Tuesday next week, Monday, Tuesday the week after, and then back to normal the week after that. Is Top Step the best? No, Top Step's the worst. I wouldn't touch it ever, personally. They don't treat people well, and their system is poor. How would you use indicators on Top Step? You'd have to use EMAs and volume profile and VWAP. Yes, you buy. Yeah, Eddie, if you buy both courses, if you just go on the website, buy one, go to buy one course, it will give you a discount on the second course. It will come up and flash. You just buy it together, it'll give you a discount. Sorry to read the last few things here. Thanks a heap, Alex. I paid Discord and listened to you instead of this is the best channel. Awesome, man. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everyone new here. Do my indicators work on Tradeify? They haven't been built for Tradeify, but you could add them to Tradeify. Oh, right. Sorry, Cesar. Hey, Alex, I invited a couple people today, and while I can trade, I can't teach. Someone to save my life as a mean reversing trader. They said it was the most educational thing they've ever seen online. Oh, thank you, Dr. Wall Street. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you for inviting people in. Thanks for the kind words. You're welcome, Christy. I'll speak to you, if not in Discord, on Monday. I like that. Johnny, that's a good one. Top Step gives you lots of vacation time since their system seems to be down 2 times a week. A stressful vacation, I would say. All right, everyone. Big love. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate all the new followers. Oh, one thing I should say, maybe I didn't say it. If you go on the community page on my YouTube, I did a little post. Right, it's for a free Funded Next account. All I want you to do is right underneath what you're going to do to improve your trading in 2026. I'm going to send all those entries to Funded Next, and they're going to pick at least one person for a free account. All right, and I will send that to them by Tuesday, and hopefully they'll reply straight away. All right, big love, everyone. Thank you for joining. Trade safe. Use hard stops. Don't be doing anything stupid into the close. Peace and love.